Good morning. Sorry, just a minute. Good morning. Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon. I hope you guys are all well. Uh, this is an early morning on my side, so you're going to forgive me. This is not the usual. I normally do this interview a little bit later in the morning, but today we decided to do it early because we finally have good network praying that it's going to work fully with Mr. Abed and Nsengimana. So we've been trying this interview. This is the third attempt. The first two attempts, he got to share a little bit of his story, but not fully. But this time, he's going to share his entire testimony. So we are praying and hoping that his network is going to go well. So without further ado, I'm going to bring them back and then we're gonna start this interview so that to make sure he has good network. To start, Mr. Omisdas, can you please introduce yourself and before we go?
Thank you very much. My name is Homistas Ndayishimiye. I'm genocide survivor. I'm author of two books, Heritage from Father and Sortir indemne de l'enfer du génocide. I am happy to be part of this platform. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so without further ado, we're going straight to Albert, praying that his network is working. Albert, can you hear us?
Yes, of course. I'm listening to you.
Hey, thank you, Jesus. Okay, so
You're
Albert,
welcome.
thank you so much for being back for the third time, and I know that this is going to be a great time because you're gonna get a chance to share fully, like completely your story with no caps, with no with no what you call it, with no interruption. So I wanna, without further ado, let me just give you the floor and just feel free, take us from the beginning, especially for those who did not watch part one and part two, so that they don't feel left out. Just take us from the beginning until the end. Yeah, so the floor is yours.
Yeah, thanks so much, Aline and Mr. Omesdas. I'm grateful for today. Uh, First of all, I'm very happy to be at this platform. It is very important for me and for the people following us. So my name is Albert Nsengimana. I'm now 34 years old. I live in Rwanda. I'm the author of the book called Ma Mère m'a tué. In English, it is My Mother Killed Me. So, um, so my book is about my life, my family, even everything I have seen in 1994 during the genocide against Tutsi. So actually, I wrote that book because I wanted to share with many people. I want to tell the world what exactly happened in Rwanda, because we saw terrible things. We saw. Um, I don't have a proper term. How can I say? But we saw incredible thing. We saw bad thing because genocide against Tutsi in 1994. It was like apocalypse to me. So me as a kid, I thought maybe it is the end of the world. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to share, to tell the people what I have seen and to tell them the truth. So, uh, if you allow me, I can start before genocide, just to tell you a little background about my family, about my
Absolutely.
father and my mother.
Absolutely.
Uh,
You have the green light from us. Like just share it as you feel. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Um, First of all, let me start about my father background and my mother background. So my father was Tutsi, my mother was a Hutu. So I born in a family mix Tutsi and Hutu. Uh, is how they call it before. Yeah. So um, I born with the 9 children. All were boys. Father and mother, we were 11 people in my family. So we live together in a small village. It is in the Eastern Province, in the Kayonza district. Before it was Kabaronde district, but now it is in the Kayonza district. So it's a small city called Kabarondo. So, but I was in a small village there. Actually, it was a small village, people living together, sharing some beer, sharing everything they had. Yeah, that culture, our culture, we are not selfish as I like that culture to sharing what we have in our life. So it is a life I like it, even when I was kid. So at the beginning, um, me and my brothers, we like to go to pray. We were Catholic church, but we had many friends, Adventists, others. So we were we were living in a peacefully at the beginning, but slowly by slowly, because their ideology about the divided people, divided into Tutsis, Hutu something. So it's that how the things become so bad. Yeah, but at the beginning, people were living together. Even if you went to marry, you can go to Hutu's family, and then they give you the the wife. So is how I think my father even got married with the my mother. So I remember where we live around our neighboring were Hutus, other Tutsis. Yeah, actually we playing with the other kids at the school. So, but I remember in 1993, when I was in the P1 primary one, my first class. So they had some documents. Sometime they call Albert Nsengimana, what is your ethnic? Sometime as a kid you say, we don't know our ethnic. But they said you have to know that you are Tutsi. Others, they call them, they say, okay, I don't know what my ethnic, and they said you are Hutu. So it just, as a kid, we did not recognize that thing. We said maybe it is just something there, but there was a plan. Yeah, I remember they asked me, my teacher asked me, do you know you are 18? I said no. So he gave me like a homework to go to ask my father my ethnic. So and then I asked my father, our ethnic is what? Yeah, he said we are Tutsi. Yeah, so I remember that. And then, uh, as I said, we live in a happy family. We live in a happy situation with the others. We lived in a peaceful in our area, and um, actually, all things we did together as a friend, as many people we live together, so we had to share everything we had. Yeah, but when we were crossing to the 1994, so many people many people were changed somehow because the ideology passed through the media, newspaper, when the uh, government of Rwanda before said the Tutsis are bad, Tutsis are snakes, Tutsis are a enemy. So is how the people started to to say the Tutsi are bad, they are going to kill Hutus, something like that. Those rumors I heard that, but as a kid, sometime kid, we did not take things serious. Maybe we said maybe it's about the old people. Maybe it will finish, and then we continue. Actually, my family were the agriculture family and the heritage family. We had cows, we had um, sheep. So actually, we were not rich, but we were in the middle category, not rich, not poor. So my father did not participate um, about the political party anymore. No, I did not see him just going some meetings. No, just he was there as freedom father. Even in our village, I remember. Uh, yeah, we were just a normal family, as family in a village. Yeah, so uh, as I told you, my father was Tutsi, my mother was Hutu. So it means that all my mother's family were Hutu. So at that moment, all the Hutu were power than the Tutsis.
Mm.
I think you know it. All Hutus were power than the Tutsis because they said, uh, what they did. They provided the education. They had the education to the Hutus students, but and then they rush out the
The
Tutsis
Tutsis.
student.
Mm.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
of
So
the Hutus 10 Commandments.
exactly.
Mm.
So even my father only, uh, I think he studied only. He did not study in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to go to Mr. Omis, that's right. To be able to be admitted to a school, you had to like really, it was very hard for Tutsis to go to school, to go to universities, to work in the government after, like, after 1959, after the Hutus 10 Commandment were installed, right?
uvuze gutya ntabwo
Ndavuze
numva.
ndavuze igihe, so Albert yavugaga ngo papa we ngo ntago yashoboye kujya mu mashuri, ntago yarangije segonderi, kubera abatutsi ntago bemeraga ntago bari bafite opportunity yo kwiga nk'abahutu,
Yego.
so navugaga it's because of the Hutus 10 Commandment, right?
Yes. C'était très difficile parce que moi aussi j'ai étudié parce que j'ai passé par la voie de l'Église catholique. Sinon, c'était très difficile. Même si j'étais vraiment un étudiant un élève qui était brillant, mais c'était difficile pour aller dans
So,
les écoles de l'État.
Mr. or Mr. is actually also adding his point. Sorry guys for my voice, it's very early here. So I'm still waking up. So Mr. or Mr. is saying that he's adding his comment by saying that um even for him at that time it was hard for him to go to school. He had to go through the way of like studying as a priest, because he became like, he went to a seminary school to become a priest. Even my dad went through seminary school because they were not allowed to study. So So even though they were brilliant, Mr. Soso was good in school. So like even if you are as brilliant as you want, if you are Tutsi, you could not be able to study. So Albert is sharing how his father couldn't even go to school because of the fact that he was Tutsi, and Mr. went through the same situation. My father also went through seminary school, so it was very sad for the Tutsi people. Either they will have to go into exile to study, or they will go through the Catholic place, becoming priests, so that they could be able to gain the knowledge. So yeah. Okay, so Albert, yeah. So that's what I wanted to emphasize on. Like it sometimes people don't understand that the 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 genocide didn't start in 1994. They did not rip the right of Tutsis in 1994. It started in 1958 when those Hutu Ten Commandments were written. That was the beginning of ripping the right of Tutsis from doing anything, from going to school, being in the army, working in the government, or even having a good job, even being a business. In the Hutu's 10 commandment, one of the commandment even says not to do business with any Tutsi person. So it was a lot of limitation from 1958 until 1994. 1994 was like the finale, the season finale. It was like now they were like, okay, now we need to just wipe them out of this world. So yeah. Okay, Miss.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that is
it
true. Many people they say the genocide has started in 1994. No, it is not true. Genocide has started many years ago, as you said, in 1959, where the
yes.
Tutsis or the Iban in across the country, they banned the Tutsis houses. They took their cows. So it's the Tutsis started to exile in our neighboring countries. So you know that
Exactly.
yes, yeah, and then it was at the Kayibanda was a president at that time, and then President Habyarimana continued to build, I'm not build to destroy the country, the ideology of ethnicity, Tutsis and Hutu. So at that time, you know, the Rwanda ID they had, the one ID, there was a Tutsi, the Hutu, and the Twa, something like that. It was the kind of discrimination. So
So basically, like you literally you like, first of all, in school they come to count how many Tutsis are in the class, how many Hutus are in the class, and then also for the adults you carry an ID that reminds you of the fact that you are Tutsi. So
yeah,
wherever you go, they know your
yeah,
thing. So they were literally were preparing to, like, it was like a survey. No, no, not a survey, like a census. Here in America there's
yeah.
like a census before the election. They have
Census.
like a census where they count, okay, how many Republican are in this neighborhood, how many Democrats. So in Rwanda they were counting how many Tutsis are in this place, how many, so that
Yeah,
they knew. Because during the genocide there's so many testimonies that say that people were actually in the radio, that
yeah,
RTLM, they will say, "Oh, that house there, they are still alive.
yeah,
Go and
yeah,
kill." Because they had
yeah,
already, like, they had a list. They had
mm,
prepared in advance, so they knew
yeah,
how many houses needed to be exterminated. They knew how many people they needed to end, to finish. So it's very, for me, one of the reason why I'm passionate about this, and I don't think we should just talk about the genocide for the 100
yeah,
days, because during the 100 days, I don't know if you guys notice, during the
yeah,
100 days, the deniers of the genocide don't talk. They don't
yeah,
comment. They don't talk during the 100 days. They
yeah,
don't talk. And then after the 100 days, they start again. denying the genocide, the start. So I was like, why don't we talk about this every day? Why don't we talk about this genocide? Because that's how they started building the ideology. They started building the ideology from 1959. Then until
Exactly.
1994, people were growing up every day being told that Tutsis are snakes, Tutsis
Yeah.
are evil, Tutsis are cockroaches. Tutsi, they never took a break. They kept on building that ideology, and to this day, there are people that are still
Yeah.
teaching their children about that ideology. So why don't
Yeah.
we talk about it and really share the truth, so that the Bible says you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. So that these people, these old people that are trying to leave a generation or to infect their children with that hatred can be actually brought to light with the truth, because the truth is the thing that you cannot run away from. So
Yeah.
that's why we have to share our story. So yeah, so Albert, so you said what the most important thing for your story that people needs to know. Your dad was not in politics. Your dad
Yeah.
was a normal, ordinary person. He was
Yeah.
minding his business. He was like he was taking care of his 9 children and his wife.
Yeah.
They were having a normal, simple life. He did not have any hatred with Hutus because he was married to a Hutu woman, and
Yeah.
he had 9 children with a Hutu woman, so he didn't have any hatred. So that's what I want people to highlight, because people can say, "Yeah, Aline, but your dad was in politics." Yes, my dad was in politics, but your dad wasn't.
No, my daddy was a simple father, just dealing about his family. Actually, he didn't go any politics. I'm telling you the truth that I have to know. That even I said when the people came to kill us, I said my father is not politics. Maybe though they think about the the, the, the people, maybe they have to recognize that my father is not politics. He didn't know about anything about politics, something like that, about the RPF, about do I think that many people they said you gave the support to the RPF, but my father
Yes,
didn't do it.
Every Tutsi who was living in
Yes,
Rwanda was a spy. He was They were
was a spy
considered
of
as a
RPF.
spy for RPF,
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
because they were Tutsis. Like imagine
yeah.
your father may have never even ever seen any person from the RPF, just because he's
Mm,
Tutsi, he's considered as
yeah,
a spy. Like it's just
yeah,
ridiculous, you know. It's crazy. Anyway, so carry on. So yeah, so then
yeah,
you were, even as
you,
a child, you were like, wait a minute, my dad shouldn't die because my dad is not even in politics.
yeah, yeah.
He doesn't even know anything about politics. Why do they have to kill him? Because they say that they kill the Tutsi killed Habyarimana, right? The president.
Exactly.
That's what they said, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's so important. Like I mean, I know we are talking, we are posing, but I want to say, last week, no, not last week, last Monday, this Monday, we had an interview with a repentant genocide killer,
yeah,
and I know you watched it, Albert.
yeah,
You see, do
yeah,
you remember when he said that, like, they got the whatever, the machetes and stuff like that. He didn't go into details, but he had already told us the details. So they
yeah,
got the machetes on April 7th, and he was not in Kigali, he was not in
yeah,
Butare, he was in
yeah,
a village. Okay?
yeah, yeah,
How on earth did they get the information of the plane and get
yeah,
the machetes to start killing if it was not prepared?
yeah, yeah. You can't. Many people. You can't, like me. Even in our village, you can't imagine. April 7. I told you I saw many people just had the machete, have the arc, have the weapon. Can you imagine civilian people
Then
who
where did they
who
get, my
had
question is, where did they get the machete?
weapon,
Like,
not traditional weapon.
and
Yeah, they have guns. Can you imagine the civilian people, how he can get or she can get the grenade, how she can get the the gun, how you can get the gun, pistol, you know it, the
And
even
they're not
the
in the army. They're not in the army. They're just civilians. But they had
yes,
guns. They had grenades. They had
yes,
machetes. They had knives.
yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, Mr. or Mrs. Do you have anything to add to this? Like the fact that like even in Albert's village on April 7th, the civilian had machetes, guns, grenades. They were already
The,
armed when
yeah.
the president plane fell on April 6th, and then April 7th they were all ready to kill.
Non,
Wow.
pour moi, c'était bien, très bien préparé, hein, parce que vous pouvez voir dans, disons, dans cette région du sud, vous allez voir que ce qui s'est passé au sud s'est passé au nord, parce qu'ils utilisaient les mêmes armes et puis la même façon
De
de
tuer.
traiter, de
Ah oui.
tuer,
C'est comme
de
s'ils se
traiter,
sont entraînés. C'est comme s'ils
oui,
ont fait un entraînement détaillé avant 94.
oui, mais même la façon de tuer, même, disons, par exemple, pour les femmes, d'abord, il est violé. Et on voyait que même au sud, au nord, à l'est et à l'ouest, on faisait la même chose. Donc, c'était bien préparé.
So Mr. is saying that for him the genocide was very well prepared because the technique that was done in the south was the same technique in the north, in the east, and in the west. And he said if the way the killers were killing people, the way they had already the same like arms, which are the machetes, the grenade, the weapons, they all had the same thing, and they were all killing people the same way. They were cutting people to pieces, and they were also raping women in all the four part of Rwanda. They were doing the same thing at the same time. So you cannot tell us that it was not prepared. How on earth a villager like John was in a village? John, the one who testified on Monday. We also have another testimony on Thursday that I'm looking forward to. John, John was in a village. Okay, I'm pretty sure he didn't have a radio or a television to hear about the plane. How did he get the arms, the weapons on April 7th and start killing people on April 7th? Like for me, there was no preparation because remember, Mr. Omisdas, he said in his interview, even before the interview, he said the genocide happened in front of them, and they were the one who started killing people in his village. Do you remember that?
Yeah, 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 I
Yeah,
remember, I remember,
yeah,
I
yeah.
remember. Donc,
So my
c'était
question
bien
is,
préparé.
this is crazy. It's just the
Yeah,
craziest thing. That's what I'm like thinking about those people that are still denying the genocide. This person he's a repentant genocide killer. Okay, even we have many, Mr. or
Yeah.
Misters,
mm,
don't we have many genocide, repentant
yeah,
genocide? They are ready to talk, and they all
Yeah.
have a similar testimony. They all
yeah, oui.
said that they were given an order. It was an order to
Mm.
kill.
Yeah.
Et puis, une autre chose que je voulais souligner, voilà, comme dans le cas d'Albert, il y avait sa grand-mère, ses cousins, ses oncles, mais personne n'avait pitié de lui. Euh, Quand sa maman a pris,
You know, when he took me to, I will just reach at that point. Yeah, it's okay. I cannot say like that. But here you wanted to say something about, yeah, actually, you can't imagine people, the Tutsis, you know, when the Interahamwe, the militias, killed the people, they said, who wanted to be in a proper way, he will pay and then we found someone who will use the gun to shoot them. Can't
Yes.
you imagine
So
that one? The
basically,
one who
you
had money tried to maybe to kill me peacefully. He said, "Okay, you are going to kill me. I know that, but I don't want one will cut me into many parties. Please, can you allow me to? Can you allow? Can you use the gun? Only one bullet." And then they
Oh,
say, "Okay, you have to pay money, my dear friend, and then we
oh,
kill you peacefully."
but
oh my
no,
God.
it's not even like I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Like for them to die with a gun was like a privilege. It was a privilege that
Yeah,
we were not deserving to die
yeah,
by shooting. Remember,
yeah,
even Fidel, there's somebody else who came to testify. Remember how Fidel, the head of the refugee people, told the mayor, "I said, you know what? Just call the people, call the police to come and shoot us. Don't take us back to Bugesera. Please, don't take us back to Gikongoro. I don't know where he was. I think it was Gikongoro. Don't take us back home. Gisenyi, yes, Gisenyi. Don't take us back to Gisenyi, please. Just shoot us, because if either way we are going to die, but we rather die by gunshot than being cut to pieces." Now imagine how on earth you get to a place where you are thinking like that, like you
yeah,
thinking of like, okay, you know what? Either way, I'm going to die, so might as well just being killed. Mr. Omistas was saying before we got to that, he was saying what he doesn't get with the story of Albert, his grandmother, his cousins, his uncles, they all saw the mother and the aunt take her children to the killers, to her brothers, to kill them,
yeah,
and
yeah,
nobody moved. People were cheering her to go and take her children to the killers just because they were born from a Tutsi father. So
yeah, yeah,
Albert,
yeah,
I know we're jumping the story, but because it's
yeah,
important for us to ask you questions, because I read your book, and I can tell you I cannot wait for this book to be in English, because I want especially my American friends, because here in America we have many torn stories, because we have many great, we have a great group of deniers in America. Okay, so
yeah, yeah,
these
yeah,
people have this story of polishing the truth, okay, saying,
yeah,
you know what, the RPF also killed our people. I lost my
yeah.
uncle, I lost my
Mm,
cousin. Yes, let me tell you this. I
mm,
wish I lost my mother, or no, I wish I lost my father from a
mm.
gunshot.
Yeah,
No, like I wish I didn't have to hear my father screaming for his life,
yeah,
watching blood gushing from his body, watching body part leaving his body. I wish I didn't see that. So I wish I had lost my dad. I wish they had just shot him. He will
yeah.
fall dead, and that's it. You know.
Mm,
Now I
mm.
have all these people denying, and many of them are following me. So I
Yeah,
want them to read your book in English. For those who don't speak French, I want
yeah,
them to read it in English. So Albert, my question to you is, because for me, the
mm,
people that killed my father, yes, they were related to my mother, but they were not my mother's siblings. Okay, they were
yeah,
just like extended relatives. But for
mm,
you, it was not even an uncle who took you to the killers. It was your own mother, the person
yeah,
who gave birth to you. So
yeah.
I want to take you, because I want you to tell us what happened on April 7th. What happened on April 7th for you? Can you hear me,
Hmm?
Albert?
Oh, il est parti.
Albert? Albert? Oh my God. Albert?
Peut-être il va retourner. Mais je voulais dire quelque chose, hein,
Mm-hmm.
s'il n'est pas. Donc, même les personnes qui disent qu'il y a eu double génocide, vous allez voir. ils sont avec leur père, leur mère, leurs cousins, leurs oncles. Ils sont tous là. Mais ils vont dire, il y a eu double génocide. Mais tu es avec tous tes frères et sœurs. Moi, on a
Exact.
tué, pour moi, on a tué six frères et sœurs, mes
Tes
deux parents.
parents vont pas.
Alors, comment tu vas dire que il y a eu double génocide alors que tu es avec les membres de ta famille? Voilà.
Mr.
Vraiment,
Mr. Omistas is saying that those people that are talking about double genocide, they are with their brother, their sister, their cousin, their grandfather, their grandmother, and then they're talking about double genocide. When some of us, he's talking about his own case. He lost six of his siblings and his parents in the genocide. So he's left. He lost so many people. What about me? I lost my dad, 98% of my family on my father's side, and we have only one body in our family. Now you are trying to tell me that I'm brainwashed when I don't even know where my dad is. I don't know if my dad is under a hotel or under a house or under somebody's toilet. I don't know where my dad is, and you have the audacity to tell me that there was a double genocide. Please. Because what? Because maybe you lost your siblings with a gunshot.
yeah.
There is no report of any casualty of the Rwandan Patriotic Front that cut people to pieces. But we have proofs of killers that cut John, the one who testified on Monday. I think he was a little bit scared to go into the details. But he told us his detail. He cut that woman into pieces. He even said it in the beginning. He said, the genocide team, we saw it and we are the one who started it. Even him, there was a part he said that people who are talking about double genocide, they are lying. So I think we have to really, be honest about ourselves. Let's tell the truth as it is. There was no double genocide because
No, oh,
there are
yeah.
stories after stories, and even on Monday we have testimonies that are going to break your heart.
Yeah.
Real testimonies of people that
Oui.
were raped by countless of men. Imagine being raped by over 80 people just coming in and out on you. And then you
Oh,
hear people say
voilà.
there was no genocide.
Et puis, on a fait des recherches, on a trouvé beaucoup de familles, toutes les familles détruites, qui n'ont laissé aucune personne. Hein. Beaucoup de familles détruites, toutes détruites. Et puis, il y a aussi des personnes qu'on a mis ensemble, ce sont des vieux et des vieilles, qui sont restés seuls. Je pense qu'ils ont des témoignages très, très poignants. J'espère qu'on va trouver l'occasion vraiment d'écrire leurs témoignages parce qu'ils sont là, ils sont vieux. Mais ce sont des personnes, chacun est resté seul dans toute sa famille. Donc, on a bâti des centres pour aider ces gens à terminer leur vie au moins en dignité.
And dignity, exactly.
Yeah.
So Mr. Omistas is saying there are cases of families that were all killed. They all disappeared all at once during the genocide. And there are also older people that stayed only alone, like one person in a whole family. And then the government created these centers, like these homes, to have them all together, and then so that they don't have to die by themselves. So they are living there. So they are older, elderly people that were already old during the genocide, but now they are very old because they left by themselves, but they got to live. And they have very painful story. And yes, we are going to interview them, Mr. or Mrs. Yes, we need to write their books. That is why I started this foundation, Seeking Grace, because my heart is for these people not to die with their story untold. my prayer is for these people to leave a legacy for them, even though they lost their children and their husbands and everybody in the genocide. That at least the Rwandan generation will know their story, will know that these people lived in Rwanda. They know that these people, because there are some families that completely vanished. Nobody even remembers them because they're all gone.
Voilà. Voilà. Euh, euh, vous connaissez, vous avez entendu parler de Albert Einstein. Il a
Yes.
dit que le monde ne sera pas détruit par ceux qui font le mal, mais
Mm.
ceux qui regardent sans rien faire.
Silently.
Hein,
Yes.
oui, sans rien faire.
Yeah.
C'est pour cela que vraiment, je vous encourage parce que votre plateforme était en train de faire une bonne chose parce que on n'est pas là pour regarder, on raconte des histoires. Et puis quand on raconte des histoires, on sait ce qui s'est passé. Alors nous ne sommes pas là pour regarder.
Sorry. Do you hear me?
Hold
I
on.
think
Albert, hold on. Let me translate what Mr. or Mrs. just said, and then you're gonna continue your story. So Mr.
yes.
Albert just stated, he said that Albert Einstein said that the world will not. Okay, let me not paraphrase it. I know that quote, but I forgot the beginning. He said the world will not be. The world will not be a bad place from people that. Non, pouvez-vous répéter pour que je
Le
puisse.
monde, le monde ne sera pas détruit.
Yes, so the
Détruit.
world will not be destroyed by those who want it to be who want it to be destroyed, but it will be destroyed by those who see it and are
Yeah.
silent. So
Yes.
so
Exactly.
he's saying that the reason why this platform and this project of sharing the story of the people that stayed, that survived this hell, this atrocity of the genocide, is important to share, because we have to be able to keep this legacy going, because we have people that are trying to taint the story. We have people that are trying to lie, to polish the story, to talk about
Yeah.
and blame one person and blame the president. Oh, it's President Kagame's fault. Let me put it this way: how on earth are you gonna blame over 2 million people that were killed when somebody wasn't even in the country at that time when you started killing? President Kagame was not in Rwanda when it started, when they started killing. So how do you blame a person who wasn't even there? And then secondly, you have even John is the first, but we have many repentant genocide killer who are going to share their testimony. They all agree that they were given orders by their leader, not by President Kagame. They were given orders by the leaders that were there. So you can't come to us and tell us that there was a double genocide when the people that you are blaming the genocide to have started from, they were not even in Rwanda when they started killing us. So anyway, so that's Albert. So you back. So tell us now. So now that your internet is back, so now walk us through April 7, when you found out that your dad and your older brother were killed. What happened? And then you went to your grandfather's house, and then what happened? Albert, Albert. Oh my God,
Oh
Albert.
mon Dieu.
What is this? He's in
Sorry.
Kigali, and yes,
I was
Albert. What's
Yes,
going on with you?
sorry,
Let's go.
I roast you a little bit, but I just I was following you. Actually, they said in Rwanda happened a double genocide. We know that the genocide against Tutsi has been stopped by RPF, by President Kagame, because President Kagame was the chief of RPF army. So they they tell us who stopped the genocide against Hutu. They have the answer. Why the, please. I know the truth that. So please, when ask them, who stopped genocide against the Hutu? So ask them. The Hutu are living in Rwanda. So if the RPF wanted to kill the Hutu in Rwanda, until now, you cannot find the Hutu there in a village. How many Hutu we have here in Rwanda? Who said
What about
stop to kill Hutus?
Albert John, who said that President Kagame gave them cows, gave them goats, gave them
Exactly.
houses? So imagine the person that they're talking about him starting the genocide, whatever the double genocide is, the one even like I won't say rewarding, but giving the killers, the repented killers, like cows and goats. If
Yeah.
you're talking about the person who's the one trying to kill or trying to see, it's true, Albert. We need to ask that question: who stopped the genocide against Hutus?
Yes. Just ask them. You know, my friend, I remember, it was my dear friend. You know, Habyarimana, now the people are getting the cows from president. It is a program. I really like it. I did appreciate that program. So you know what Habyarimana gave the people? They Habyarimana gave the people, the Rwandan, it is small rat. They call Sumbiriji. Maybe Omes that please, you know that story.
Eh? J'ai pas bien
Yeah.
compris.
Reka mbivuge mu kinyarwanda.
Yes.
Yes.
Habyarimana uzi ikintu yahaye abanyarwanda, yabahaye imbeba. Yigeze kubaha imbeba zivuye mu Bubiligi zitwaga Sumbirigi z'umweru. Urumva iyo story uzayibaze. Zitwaga ngo Sumbirigi. Ni impano niba yari yahawe n'Ababiligi y'imbeba z'umweru. N'ubu njya nzibona story yaransekeje. Uzayibaze uzayimenya.
Amatungo y'imbere.
Albert is saying that President Kagame gave the repentant killers cows and goats, but President Habyarimana gave he was given some mouses, white mouses,
Yeah.
from Belgium, and that was the reward that he gave it to people. So imagine one president is giving mouses to the people, and then another president is giving cows and goats.
I'm telling the truth, many people, the old men, they know that story. I got that story from the old man. So I met her just, yeah, I'm telling the truth, I laugh all the day. I said, this is crazy. The president who give the citizen the mouse, the white mouse. Even me, I can give my neighbor at least I can give them like a rabbit, but I cannot give them I have my neighbor. I gave them the rabbit at least. Yeah, like me, Albert, you can.
Je vais une autre chose. Je vais dire une autre chose.
Yes, Mr. Oh, Mr. You can.
Oui, je vais dire.
Now.
Vous avez entendu le témoignage d'Alexandre Karamagué. Son père qu'on avait chassé, qui était au Burundi, chaque fois, il voulait retourner pour voir ses enfants. Même quand il est parti, Alexandre était dans le ventre de sa mère. Il voulait même voir son enfant. Et il voulait qu'il soit emprisonné au moins dans son pays. Mais chaque fois qu'il voulait retourner, on le chassait. Donc, le Tutsi n'avait même le droit d'être emprisonné dans son propre pays.
Imaginez.
Et puis, pendant le génocide, aucun Tutsi n'a été arrêté et mis en prison. Aucun. On le tuait sur place. Et puis après les Hutus, quand on les a arrêtés après avoir tué les Tutsis, on disait, oh, c'est vraiment, les Tutsis nous ont mis en prison. C'est l'injustice vraiment.
Les droits de l'homme, les droits de l'homme, les droits
Voilà,
de
les
l'homme.
droits de l'homme, les droits de l'homme. Alors que, donc, on le met en prison, on le nourrit, on le donne tout, même soigner, on les soigne, et puis on les
On
enseigne.
les amène en thérapie, on les donne la thérapie, on les donne even. On les donne à manger, on les donne à manger, on les donne
Bien,
à boire, on les donne à où se
bien.
coucher. On amène des thérapeutes pour les parler et les encourager
Non.
à pardonner et
Ah oui,
à dire la
voilà.
vérité.
Mais
Tu
les
t'imagines,
Tutsis pendant
alors
le
qu'en
génocide,
94, ils n'ont donné cette grâce à personne. C'est-à-dire, dès
à
qu'ils
personne.
attrapent, ils te tuent sur place, ils ne t'enterrent même pas. Ils te tuent sur place et ils te laissent là-bas. Et ils continuent. Mr.
Pour moi,
Omisdas, Mr. Omisdas is saying something that is so interesting and very deep. He's saying that during the genocide in 1994, the Tutsis didn't even have they didn't even have the like also he's talking about he shared about the testimony of Mr. Alexander Karamage. That's also on my YouTube channel. Please watch it. It's powerful. His story didn't start in 1994. His story started in the genocide in 1959 because in the genocide of 1959 started in 1959, but it went until 1973. It was just a slow motion. They were killing slowly. They were not just killing like they did in 1994, but they were killing slowly. But in 1961, when his mother was 6 months pregnant of him, the father went into exile because they wanted to kill him, and then he went away. Then he kept on trying to come back and see his children because he had 4 children in Rwanda, and he kept on begging to at least be imprisoned in Rwanda, and they will refuse. And it's not that he did anything. He was just because he was Tutsi that they didn't want him to come, and even they didn't even give him the right to be in prison in Rwanda. They did not want him. And even the one time he got a chance to see his children for the first time in 13 years. Okay, for the first time in 13 years, he got to see his children for less than 15 minutes because after that, the mayor and the police came to where he was and they chased him out of Rwanda again. And then he tried again to come and smuggled into his own country. Imagine trying to smuggle to get into your own country. The place where you were born, the place where you don't even have the right. You don't even have the right to come and live there. Now, he's saying that the Tutsi didn't even have the right to be in prison because during the genocide, there was no Tutsi that was arrested and put in prison. No. Any Tutsi that was arrested was killed, cut to pieces there, and left there. But after, when the genocide stopped, okay, and then they arrested the killers, the genocide killers, that then everybody started talking about human rights. Oh, they are taken against their will. They are not well treated, but they were in prison. They were not cut to pieces. Those genocide killers were not cut to pieces. Even John said it. He said that they were in prison. Yes, there were many. I mean, there were. He said that in the prison where he was, there were 7,500 people. Of course, if you there were many people that are killed. Of course, of prison, whether it's in America, whether it's in Europe, a prison is not a hotel. Prison is prison. So, but they were not cut to pieces. They were not left without drinking water, like Albert would say. His own mother left him starving. Okay, they were not starved. They had food, they had drink, they had a place to shower, and also they had therapists coming and telling them and encouraging them to share the truth. So they were going through therapy, they were eating food, they were doing this. So when we talk about double genocide, it's so interesting how they gain more treatments than the Tutsis that they killed because they were in prison, and to this day Some of them are out. They have a house. They have cows. They have goats. They are living. They have their children. John, the one who testified on Monday, he has grandchildren. He has a wife. He has a house. He's living. And the people they killed, we stopped living. I mean, yeah, we did. We live, but we are not living like daily. So it's important to, whatever you talk about double genocide, please have those stories in truth, because it's important to understand why it hurts a genocide survivor to hear people talk about double genocide. Because let me put it this way: we didn't get the rights. We didn't have any human rights in 1994. There was no humanity in 1994. Even John said that they were monsters. Uribuka ko yavuze ngo bari ibikoko.
ngo bari ibikoko, ngo
Hey,
bari babaye
yes.
ibikoko.
Guys, if you did not watch the testimony of Monday of John, please go watch it. Because even him, he said that they were monsters. That during the genocide they were not human beings. They had become monsters. Because you can't explain. You can't explain how you cut a mother. You
You,
cut her child. I mean, it just doesn't make sense for me. Anyway, so Albert, are you
yes,
here?
yes. I'm listening to you.
I want you to talk. Like,
Today,
I know we keep on
today I
saying.
wanted to be angry, because if I will be angry, my network will disappear. So I don't want. So today I wanted to share my story with the happiness. I don't want to be angry today. You know, Arina, here I wanted to tell you something. You know, in our village, so you can't explain. You know, the people. I'm telling you the truth. The people drink the blood of Tutsis. Can't you imagine that?
They were what? They were
What?
drinking the blood of Tutsis.
The blood Tutsis. You know,
Oui, oui,
can
oui.
you imagine the people took a knife and cut the belly of the Tutsi's wife just to move? Can you imagine the, maybe, for example, like someone Hutu's wife and married to husband Tutsis, and then they said, we are going to cut you and to remove those croc, croc no,
Cockroaches.
Croc.
Cockroaches.
how
Cockroaches. Mm-hmm.
crocoches Tutsis, yeah, and then they cut her and then remove those. And can you imagine?
I saw. Okay, when
Yeah,
I wrote
it
it in my
happened.
book. The family that I ran for a moment with, she was pregnant. It was a family of 4 children, a wife, a husband, and wife. But the wife was expecting. She was pregnant. When we got to one of the barricade where they were killed, they opened her stomach, took out the baby, and cut it into pieces and killed her. I saw it. It's not like, oh,
Exactly.
it's not
Yeah,
something that I was told. I saw it myself.
yeah,
So this is what I'm
yeah.
trying to say. Like, it's just ridiculous when I hear. That is why it pisses me off when I hear people talk about double genocide, because at that time I didn't even know that I was Tutsi. All I knew was I was a cockroach. Like, no kidding. I found out I was Tutsi when I was 8 or 7. That's when I found out, because for me I was called a cockroach. I didn't even hear anybody call us Tutsi. About Tutsi. Yes, like maybe when they were asking us to line up, like to divide yourself, because every barricade they will ask you about Hutu, about Tutsi. That was the time that they were calling us about Hutu, about Tutsi. But when they were killing us, it was cockroach or snakes.
Yeah.
Mais demandez à Albert les relations avec ses cousins, ses oncles. Comment ça a été
Yes,
après?
Albert, what is your relationship with your cousins and your aunties now? Because they watch your mother taking you. Actually, is your aunt the one who took you and your mother, and who took you? Is she still alive?
Yeah, yeah, she's still alive. She live in a village. Can't you imagine when I want to go to my village? Sometime I give them the cross, I give them the so I today our yeah, we are really good. Yeah, my relationship with them is really good now. Even some of them, I just give them my land. They are cultivating my land because I don't have anyone who will keep my farm, who will keep my land. They are now
So me,
using it to feed their family.
I want people to understand it. Like, let's rewind. Okay, so your uncle, your cousins, your aunties, okay, like the people that killed your siblings are not people that are like extended. They are your direct blood family on your mother's side. They are still
Exactly.
alive, and some of them you even give them your land, your father's land, to cultivate and survive. Do you get how powerful forgiveness is? These are the people that were cheering your mother when you were being taken to be killed, and now they are living off of your land.
Yeah. Because you know,
100%
sometime let me say, I have mercy. Do you know? Do you understand
Yes,
mercy?
yes,
So when I see their kids, they are not look good. That's why I said, please, your kid. I know some of them are poor, and then I said, it's okay. You can use my land. You can cultivate beans, Irish potatoes or sweet potatoes to feed your family because they are my relatives. So I said I cannot be like them. So it is my choice. I
but
cannot revenge. So you know what we said?
did they
The
accept?
good revenger, a good revenger man, is someone who did who do who show a good behavior to that one who did bad for you.
Yeah, that is true. That's the greatest
that's
revenge.
true.
Because
Yes.
okay, but Albert, like I want to, you know what actually shocked me was the fact that um when your mother was arrested, okay, because you had a little guilt about her
Yeah,
being
yeah, but
arrested.
I think you have to talk about a little bit my journey before we reach
Please,
there.
let's go
Because
back to the story.
don't worry, today we have a full network. I will just reach there because you know
Make sure
sometimes.
you're not angry, because every time you are angry your network goes
No,
down.
it is okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Take us back so that we can, because I want people to see that powerful part of your story. So take us
yeah,
back
yeah,
to the moment of you getting, because people have heard about the part of finding out about your father and your oldest brother being killed. Then you took your two little siblings to your grandmother's house. Take us to that place, because it's important for people to know your state of mind, and even the state of mind of your mother and your the family that you have forgiven and that you are even now helping and blessing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, you know, when I'm telling the people about my story, some kind of it is that because I want to explain you know, my story is sound, you know. Yeah, so actually, let me just start where you have stopped. Yes, when we reached, do you hear me?
Yo, it's breaking. I don't know what's going on. Like every time you were about to talk about that part, like your connection just breaks off.
But, but
Okay,
maybe you
okay, okay,
so
okay, okay.
actually, yeah,
Oh my God! Now he's like Miss Mr. Oh, Mr. Isn't that weird? Every time he wants to talk
We,
about that part, his network just goes off. Albert, can you hear
oh,
us? Albert.
Yes,
Okay.
please, I
Yes.
can hear
He
you.
was. Yes. Go on. Go on. Go on.
Yes. So I saw my brothers were not happy. They were unhappy, and then I saw my mother, my grandmother of my mother. So I told you I was with my two young brother. One was 7, one was 5, and the one was 3 years old. So and then at that time I saw my my brothers. So they were unhappy because our grandmother of my mother and our cousins, our uncle, they said we don't need the Tutsis here in our family. We will kill you. And then I remember I had my uncle who was the chief of Interahamwe in the sector. He said, if I come back and then I will kill you myself all. So, but at that time, the people, my cousins, my uncles, they said you, they spoke to my mother. So they said, please, you did wrong. You made with the Tutsi's husband. Now you see what happened. So it could be better because you are ashamed. You are ashamed, you are shaming our family. So to remove the shame that you did, it's just to show that you are not you are not at the part of your husband. So we need you to come to join us, so to correct the mistake you did. That's why you have to do something. So you have to take your kid to be killed. So we will do it ourselves to show the people we are serious, and then the people will start to believe us, because they said even we are going to kill the Tutsis, but people even they said you are going to kill the Tutsis you have inside in your family. Is that how to start to tell my mother to just to do something to to correct the mistake she did.
oh,
So
mistake.
we tried.
So wait a minute. So the mistake
Yeah.
was the mistake the 9 children, or was the mistake to marry the Tutsi men? Because at that time your father was already killed. So like, so for her to be forgiven,
No,
so
he
she
was
have to
at
give.
that time. He was not at that time. He was not
Hello, Albert.
Yes, please.
Hello.
Yes.
It's breaking. So at that time, was he killed at that time, or he wasn't killed yet?
No, he was not. He's still alive.
Oh, he was still alive. Oh, okay. Oh, so when they were telling her that he was still alive. Your network is bad. We can't hear you at all. Like, it's breaking. My God. Mr. or Mrs. How do
Oui.
you explain this? Every time we get to that topic, his network just goes back.
You understand? They say his mother did a mistake.
It's a
Donc,
mistake.
yeah,
They,
a mistake.
so they have
Erreur
to correct
l'erreur
you.
qu'elle a commise, c'était d'épouser un Tutsi. Alors, parce qu'elle a épousé un Tutsi, alors pour corriger ça, elle doit tuer tous ses enfants Tutsis. Vous comprenez?
That's
Sa
weird.
famille, sa propre famille. Il faut corriger cette erreur que tu as commise.
Albert, can you hear us? You're on mute. Albert?
I can hear you, please. I
Okay,
can
so
hear you.
carry on. So the mistake. So at that time when they were telling that to your mother, was your dad already killed, or was he not? Was he still alive?
Yeah, my father was still alive at that time.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So carry on. So yeah. So then they like, okay, to correct your mistake, you need to bring your kids so that we can kill. We can finish them.
exactly. And you have to show the party you are.
So also she had to choose. She had to show them that she was Hutu by bringing her own children to them to be killed.
Exactly.
Wow.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, but it cannot reasonable. It cannot. The reason why my mother did that, I cannot forgive her.
It's breaking again.
Oh là là.
It's breaking again, Albert. Can you repeat what you said? We didn't hear fully what you said. Albert?
Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So you are saying what she did, you cannot seem to forgive the fact that she decided to to hand you over to her brothers to be killed.
No, it is not. It is not reasonable. I can. It cannot be the reason. No, like what I blame my mother. She didn't do anything to save us, my dear friend. I'm telling the truth. She
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, she didn't. That's why I can say, even if she can say, it was something I don't know, I cannot accept it. As I know some mothers said, before you kill my kids, just first kill me first, because you
Yeah.
cannot allow anyone who can be kill your children. Even me, I cannot do it.
Oh my God. Okay, so they tell her to choose between which team she's on. If she's a Hutu, she has to bring her children to be killed. So then, did she take your? Because when you got to your grandmother's house, you already had four of your other siblings that were waiting for you guys, and then now plus
Yes.
you three, you were seven. So did she
Yeah.
take all of you to the killers, or did they do it like what happened? How did she do it? Did she take all of
Yes.
you on
Yeah.
at
Actually, I was there. I was just explain a little bit about it. So actually, we try even to beg them, please. You are our family, so we need your support. So they said, we can't do anything for you. You deserve to die. You have to die because you are snakes. Can you imagine your cousins, your uncles? So we try to go to hide some places, and then they said, uh, we don't have any. Still now, we are not your relatives because you are Tutsi. We are Hutu, so we don't have any relatives. So you have to die. So, and then, but I left my two young brother because they were kids. So we said we cannot go longer with them. So I left them my grandmother house, and even my mother was there. So I left them. We tried that, and then we all the people where we went, they said we cannot help you to suffer. Just go to die. Even some others they said, even if you will stay here longer, we will kill ourselves. Can you imagine the friend, our relatives? They said even we will kill you, we are going to call even to help us to kill you. My goodness, it was a tough. It was a tough period. It was I don't know how can I explain. It was a difficult moment. So people changed their mind. I don't. I don't have the explanation about it, but people changed their mind automatically. We became enemy. We became enemy. Sometimes I remember one of my brother asked my cousin, "So what we did for you? You have a hate for us. What we did for you?" They said you are Tutsi.
Oh,
Can you imagine? We say Tutsi, we are relative. You are our cousin. You are our uncle. So our mother is your sister. They said, yeah, he is our sister, but your father is Tutsi. You have to die. But we were innocent. Even me, I were innocent. Even the people said Tutsi. I said Tutsi is the people. I have two arms. I have two legs. I have one head. So what is the difference? They said you know the sin you did. You kill our president. Can you imagine me? I was there, president,
You were 7 years old. You were 7 years old and
7 years
you
old.
were president.
How can I be
oh,
killed and then President Habyarimana? I have never seen in my time Habyarimana. No, I
ta
was.
grand-mère, sa grand-mère ne disait rien. Sa grand-mère,
Albert, Mr. or Mr. is
My
asking, what
cousins
about
and
your grandmother?
my uncles. So actually, my grandmother, because she was old enough. So, but she tried to tell them, please, you is your relative. Why are you going to kill them? They say they are snake, they are Tutsi, they are cockroach, they have to die.
hein?
But I mean, like for me, it's you see, this is so weird. Like even your own cousin telling you you have to die because your father is Tutsi, and then you're like, but we are relatives. Like we are cousins. Like we are blood cousins. It's not even like you are extended
Yes,
cousin. Like you are blood
yeah,
cousin, but that day you became an alien in your own family. Like it was like you were, like you say, you have two hands, one head, two eyes, but at that time, like they didn't see you as a human being. They saw you as an animal that needed to be killed. It's weird. So anyway, so then after, so of course you left your two younger siblings at your grandmother's house, thinking that because they are little, they were not gonna be killed, and then they were killed because she took them to.
exactly. I said maybe it's all the people like my big brother, maybe who did a mistake. Even I said maybe it is my father who did a mistake. But I said maybe the kids will stay there. They will have because I said I'm innocent. Even my two young brothers say they are innocent. I say how they can. I say maybe they will not kill him. They have to survive. Is my mind is how I thought. But they because they're innocent. So how can you explain someone to kill the seven child or the less than 5 or 2 months? How can you say what he did or she did for that one who killed he or her? Yeah. So in my mind, I said maybe they were still there. Maybe my mother will take care of them, but she didn't. So just let me continue around you where he was.
Carry on,
Then
carry.
we tried. Yes, thank you. So we tried to go some places to some our relatives to ask them the forgiveness. Even they say, please, if our father did the wrong for you, just forgive us. Take us our relatives, but they can't. So actually, I remember we went to a friend of our father, and then we did not spend there too long, and she said, "I'm going to take you to the Mauritius to kill you." We said, "Please, yeah, you know you are a friend of our father, so please allow us to stay there at least like one night." And then he can't. He was an older man. He said, "No, you are Tutsi. You have to die. So there is no reason to stay here." And then my brother tried to convince him, and then um, we said so. All our family, our mother's family, can't to save us. So we said it is better to go to to found our house.
It's happened.
Just to do, just pausing me a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to come back a little bit, just like a 2 minutes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
He
thank
said
you.
he's gonna be back. I think he has to do something. So Mr. or Misters. So
Yes.
like while he's before he comes back, there's something that I want like that's still boiling in my heart. At 7, he's 7 years old. This
Yeah.
Albert was 7, okay? He's speaking at 7 to protect his siblings, his younger siblings. So
Yes.
those younger siblings became his assignment because his mother, who had given birth to
Mm.
9 children, didn't even have any mercy on or on her younger children. So Albert decided to leave the 2 children, thinking that you know what, maybe my dad made a mistake, my older brother made a mistake, but these little ones, they won't be taken. They are innocent, you know. Let me leave them. Let me leave them. Let me leave them and go and go and run and beg for at least to survive. Then he leaves them thinking he's leaving them in safe hands, and he comes and finds out that she took them to the killers to be killed.
Donc,
Yeah, I'm back. I think, yeah, it's
Oh,
okay.
you are back. Okay, sorry. So
Yes.
I was just repeating exactly what you said about like leaving your siblings thinking that you know they are innocent. You know nobody would touch them, and then they were killed in in your grandmother's house. So okay, carry on.
Yeah, actually, I remember our grandmother tried to save us, but she was the only one. She was old enough. Uh, she was like nine, nine, she was like 85, she was like 85 years old. So, but um, our cousin, our uncles said we will kill us. Our grandmother did not accept it. Did not accept it. Yeah. So, but the others wanted to kill us automatically there. Yeah. So, and then after that, many people refused to help us. So we came back to say to our mommy, our mother, and our grandmother of my mother, we came back to say, please buy, we are going to die. because you can't help us to survive. So it is better to go maybe far, but maybe others will help us. But because everywhere was the noise of people were kids, so it was it was a difficult time, my dear friend. Yeah, it was not easy everywhere. So, but I remember the government said maybe even if you will help the Tutsis to survive, then we will come to kill you. Do you understand? Your enemy, you are supporting the enemies, you are supporting the snake to survive. It means you support them. Yeah. So and then we came back. I saw my two young brother were there, and my mother. We said, please, you can't to help us. So we are going to the Interaham, to the Mauritius, Interaham Mauritius to kill us because you cannot help us. So it's better to go to die. I remember I was very angry. Yeah, I was even in my heart. I was crying. I remember I was crying. So we went. We tried to hide in a forest, in the banana trees, and then they found us there. They found my brothers. I saw them. Yeah, we were around to our house, our father's house, but all houses we had were destroyed. So I just saw the mud there and the bricks there. Uh, so we just tried to go to hide, and then we passed in our house, but we did not found any house. They took the doors, they took our iron sheet, they took everything. They ate our cows. We did not found anything or anybody in our house. So actually our neighbor, they saw us, and then they shout up. They said, we saw the Tutsis, we saw the snakes, and then they called others. But our cousins, they were our back, but we did not see them. But they just around there. So they found my four brothers. So they killed them front of me, but it was not close to me. It was like 50 meters from the place I were. So me, they did not find me because when they were cross the road from our father's house, they saw them. They went in the classroom, and then the people saw them. Me, I was afraid because I was kid. I was young among them, and then I tried to hide in just a small forest. They did not see me, but I just saw them how they killed them. So they used the machete and then other traditional weapon, and then they killed them. They put into toilet. Uh, so I saw them with my eyes. So after I spent there like 30 minutes, I cried. Even that time, I just left only one. I left only myself in a small forest. I said, "So my God, what I'm going to do? Even I'm going to die." At least at that time, I said, maybe if I'm with my brother, at least they will try to help me before them, because they were older than me. I said maybe they will help me. So I cried. It was not easy. And then I said, it's okay. Maybe because I don't have any place to go, I said, I can go back to my grandmother of my house. Maybe I will find my mother, and then I will. It's how is the kid is how I thought maybe I will get mother. Even I was curious even to tell my mother, I saw my my brothers died. Yes. So by chance the rain started the rain is starting to rain. I say maybe it is my I said I'm lucky. Maybe it is the time to run out to go back to my grandmother of my mother. So I was very curious. I was unhappy. I don't know how can I say. It was uh, it was uh, it was a it was a difficult time, my dear friends. It was a difficult time. So I went there. Before I reached there, I passed on front of my cousin's house, and then they saw me. They called me. My dear friend, I was hungry. I was, in a rain. Then they called me. They asked me where my mother were. I said they died. And then they said, we are going to kill you here. Can you imagine my cousin? It was my first time. Even my biological cousin said to me, wait, please, why are you going to kill me? I'm not enemy. He said you are Tutsi, you are snake. I say, please, I know him. He's alive. He live at he live there at my village. Even sometime I meet him. Can you imagine where uh, when I go to the village, I buy him something to drink. You can't imagine, but it. I do it. Yeah. So he said, we are going to kill you. I said, okay, if you decide to do that, I'm ready to die, but I'm innocent. So his wife said, please, we have one latrine, one toilet. So if you are going to kill him, where you will put his dead bodies? He said it's okay. So we have a one latrine. So maybe it is better, yeah, to to take him to other place to be killed. But I was survived because one toilet. Can't you imagine? He said we have a we have a one toilet. So if you kill him, we don't have any place to put his dead body. So so they said, yeah, is but it is a plan of God. But I was saved, my dear friend, by one toilet.
If they had, if they had two toilets, they would have chosen to put you in one.
Yeah,
So, so
yeah,
at least, so you had an extra day to live. So it was a blessing. It was God giving you another day to live. So yes.
yeah,
So they
yeah,
decided to take you the following day to be killed, right? To find a better place, a place where they
do-
can hide your body.
yeah, yeah. So there was, a place, a big place. They After killing mass people, and then they put them into the wrong hole. Maybe homicides know that. There were some places they call this Iseta. So we are going to put them to Iseta, and then we kill them.
C'est quoi? Ce
Yeah,
sont
and
des
then
What
fausses
does it
communes?
what does it mean?
yeah, force commune. Yes,
Ah,
force
fausses
commune.
communes.
We say force commune.
Oh, like
Yeah,
those like the place where the water goes when it rains, right?
Donc,
yeah.
des
Even
grands
we have to
trous.
know
Non,
that.
on creusait des grands trous, Aline, hein. On
Yeah.
creusait des grands trous,
Yes.
ce qu'on appelait les fausses communes. Alors, on
Force
jetait
commune.
beaucoup de cadavres dedans.
Okay, so
Mm.
did they dig those holes before the genocide, or they dug it during the genocide?
Exactly. They did those long haul before.
Oh, so you see, and this is another thing to talk about preparation. So there were those
Exactly.
holes. Mr. or Mr. Said Abed are describing. There were big holes where they were
Yeah.
throwing
Yes.
the bodies of Tutsis there. But those
Yeah.
Yeah.
holes were dug before the genocide started. So meaning they were preparing, premeditating where they were going to throw the Tutsis before
Yeah.
they started killing.
Yeah. They
Exactly.
started first.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. They dig those hole before April 7th.
So which means the plane of Habyarimana was not even the reason why they started killing, because they had already dug, they already had the holes ready to put, sorry, to put Tutsis
Attesté,
there
attesté.
before the plane fell.
Exactly. So
Même,
the people do the mistake. I'm telling the truth. The link between the genocide against Tutsi, the link and the Habyarimana plane fade. No, there is. It is not. Yeah, you cannot link those two.
Because
You can't.
doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense how they were fully
Yeah.
ready. It's like, okay, so even if they say it was linked to the plane, how were they fully ready before? Were they prophets to know that the plane will fall on the 6th? Because they were already prepared. They had holes ready to receive the dead bodies. They had machetes and knives and
yeah.
grenades. And they were already armed and prepared, and they knew what to do and how to start. So even if they say that the plane fell, for me,
Yeah.
how on earth can a plane fall on the 6th and then on the 7th the whole country start killing?
C'était
You,
bien
you, you,
préparé.
yeah, yeah. They had a plan before. They had a plan. So because how you can explain the plane fell here to Kigali in our village, they start killing the Tutsis.
Anyway, so then okay, so your cousin takes you to the place close to the hole, because now it was a good place to kill you and then throw you in the hole. So what happened?
Yeah. So yeah, he hold me. He took my hand, and then we go. So actually, on the way from his house to the place where I should be killed, I tried to convince him, please, you are my cousin, I'm innocent. uh, he said, you are Tutsi, you have to die. I said, please, I'm innocent, you are going to kill me for nothing. And then I tried to convince him, but he didn't. So I remember only
Albert,
one
how
thing.
old
When
was he?
we,
How old was he? How old
I
was your
was 7 years old. I
no,
was
no, no,
7 years
your
old.
cousin, your cousin, your cousin?
Yeah, he was like 22 to 25 years old.
My God. So you were convincing
Yeah,
at 7, you were begging a 22
yeah,
to 25-year-old to beg for your life at
yes,
7.
yeah, yeah. I remember I begged him, please. My mother, my mother is your aunt, so we are the same blood. He said, you are Tutsi. I said, please, I'm not Tutsi. I said, I'm Hutu. I'm at your side. You can't imagine.
You
And
were
then I
trying
said, please,
you were trying to grab him.
yeah, yes, exactly. But it was a true, my dear friend. It is still true. It is still true.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
50% Hutu
yeah,
blood and 50% Tutsi, but to them, you are Tutsi. It
yes,
doesn't matter the 50%, the
yeah,
other part of your mom. No, it doesn't matter for them. If you are born of a
yeah,
Tutsi father, you are Tutsi, and you deserve to die.
yeah, exactly. And then I said, please, I'm not Tutsi. Yeah, then he said, "You are Tutsi, you have to die." I say, "What?" Even I tried to ask him, what did, what did I do for you? He said, because of the government said Tutsi are the snake, something like that. Even he said, "You are snake." I said, "Please, I'm not snake." And then we continue our way. So I remember when we already crossed to that place. I knew if I will reach that place, I will die automatically. I said, please, just stop. I'm going to tell you something. I said, you are wrong. I'm not Tutsi. So I said maybe it is my last chance just to accept it. So is how I thought in my mind. I said maybe if this one it is, it is like, when the second world war, America used the atomic bomb. It was like my it was like my atomic bomb. Yeah, so I said maybe this issue is going to be solved. Otherwise, if it will fade, I will die. I said, please, I know he called Kananura. He's at my village. I told you. I said, please. So you know that you are wrong. I know my father is Tutsi, but my mother is Hutu. So me, I took, let me say, much blood than my mother, than my father. Can you imagine? I remember this thing. I even I will I will remember it until I will die. This thing, in
Reka
Kinyarwanda,
mama qu'est-ce qu'elle disait?
let me just explain you in Kinyarwanda. Naravuze ngo ntago ndi umututsi, mama wa ndabizi papa ni umututsi ariko mama ni umuhutu. Jewe rero nakurikije uruhande rwa mama, uruhande rwa papa ntarwo ndiho. Jewe ndi umuhutu.
So he said that he told his cousin, he's like, yes, my father is Tutsi, my mother is Hutu, but me, I follow the side of my mother. I don't follow my father's side. Like, I am not on my father's side. I'm following. So he had his mouth shut because he in his mind he's like, if I get to the if we get where we are going, I am definitely going to die. So this is my chance to actually convince my cousin that I am not what he think I am, that I am more
Et,
on their side than on my father's side. Mr.
et
Omistas.
sa maman qu'est-ce qu'elle disait?
So Mr. Omistas is asking Albert, is like, what about your mother? What did your mother say when your cousin was taking you to the killers?
No, actually, that time, it was my way to my grandmother house where my mother was. It is the part of my cousin did,
Ah,
but
yeah.
it was before I met to my mother.
OK.
Okay, so your mother was not with you. So you guys were going, oh, yes, it makes sense, Mr.
Yes,
Omistas, because
yeah,
remember, his uncle was the head of the militia. So
Yeah.
yeah,
it makes sense that the cousin was taking him to his grandmother's house to be killed.
yeah.
Oh.
Yes. So and then he refused. I said, okay, I'm ready to die. I said it's okay if you decide to took me to be killed. I said I'm ready to die. I started to pray. I said, my God, I'm in your hands. I'm innocent people, but I'm going to die. But please save my life. This is how I say, my dear friend. I started my prayer. I said, my God, I'm in your hand. I'm innocent. And then after died, so please take me to your hand. Take me to heaven. I said that, I remember. And then I went there. Uh, so, but I did not die that moment. And then I go back because sometimes they make it brief because it can take longer. So, but it could be better to make it somehow brief. So I think you allow me and the other people. So uh, so unfortunately, someone saw me. They said even the one who that guy, my cousin said, "Okay, I'm not going to kill you right now. I'm going to take something to drink, so I'll come back and then I'll kill you." Others said, kids, if you kill the kid, if you kill a kid, it means you are not lucky, is how they said. They said the kid are a curse. I think, do you hear me, Arin? Do
Eh,
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Carry on, carry on.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So, and then others said, okay, now I'm tired. Bring him tomorrow. I will finish it. I killed many people, so bring him tomorrow. I will kill him. So people starting to discuss about it, and then I took my way, go back to my mother. I met the other cousin, even took me there, took me back to be killed twice, third, and then they said, uh, this man, this kid, maybe it could be better. We will kill him maybe at last, but it was the plan of God. So I reached my grandmother my grandmother house. So I was very hungry. I did not took it. It was like uh, 2 days, 2 days or 3 days. I don't remember very well, but it was like 3 days. Uh, and then I reached at my grandmother house, uh, because I knew my 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 brothers, I mean my old brother died, because I saw them. I saw how they were killed. I said maybe I thought in my mind, I said maybe my young brother are still alive. So I was curious. I wanted to see them. So when I reached there, I said maybe I, I have to find them. I did not find them. I asked my cousin, the my girl cousin. I asked I asked where my two young brother were. She said, she's not alive. They died. My dear friend, I'm sorrowful, unhappy. So I said, I cried. I cried. I remember where people did a wrong thing for me, my cousin. I thought how I saw my other brother died. I said, "Oh my God, this is." I said, "This is incredible." I cried. So, but I said, I said maybe it could be better if I know how they have been killed. I said, who killed them? She told me. She told me, your mother, your biological mother, took them to be killed. I said, no, it is not true. I said, so in my mind, I said, maybe my mother took them, maybe to hide them somewhere. So, but unfortunately, my mother took them to be killed. The one who killed my two young brother was my uncle, the one who were the chief of militias. So he's the one who tell my mother, who spoke to my mother to bring my two young brother to be killed. So I cried. I said, I left alone. I said, maybe even me, I said, even me, I will die very soon or anytime I will die. But so, when my cousin said, your two young brother has been killed because of your mother, I did not believe. I said maybe it is not true. Maybe it is. Maybe she's a joking, she's a teasing, but it was true. So I just spent there like 20 minutes, and then I saw my mother uh, came immediately, and then she took me even myself. She told me, Albert, yeah, I said yes, mommy, and then she said, um, I want you. I want you to go somewhere. I said maybe she's because that I knew my two young brother died. I said maybe my mother is going to tell uh, my uncle at least to leave me alone as the one of the family left. Is how my mind I guess maybe
In your head, you are like, you know what? Since all the 8 children were killed, at least since you're the only one left, she will have that compassion and say, at least leave this one who's going to
exactly.
stay in remembrance of the
Yeah,
other 8.
yeah, sure. Yeah, it was about like 4 p.m. 4 p.m. something like that. Uh, and then my mother called my cousin, that one who told me my mother took my two young brother to be killed. She called her to accompany her with me, and then my mother took my hand. My dear friend, can we imagine at 4 p.m.? I
This is
said,
this is when I was reading Albert. This is I'm sorry to cut you off, but this is the part when I was reading your book. I just could not. I just could not wait to interview you because I was picturing you. One hand you are held by your mother, the other hand you are held by your old cousin. I mean, she's like an aunt, right? Because she was older than you. You are held by two adults that are holding you
yeah,
tight and taking you to the killers. And they're not
yeah,
people that you don't know. This is your own mother, the person that is supposed to protect you. She's the one walking you to the killers to be killed. And you are the last one left because all your siblings are killed. So you can't even fathom to understand how your mother can take you and she knows
ese
you're the
we
only one
Mariya muri
left.
guteka.
That's what I was like. What was it in your mind? What was happening in your mind when you were walked to, like you were taken by your own mother to the killers, to your uncle to be killed? Like, what was happening in your mind? Because at that time, now you realize that your mother had no mercy. She was taking you to be killed. Albert, you on mute. Albert,
Mute.
he's on mute. Albert, Albert, he's on mute.
Quelle scène, horrible.
Right? C'est une scène que je n'ai pas oubliée. Quand je lisais
On
son
a-
livre, je me demandais comment est-ce que tu peux arriver à un point où ta propre
Non,
mère te prend par la main et puis elle demande à sa cousine ou à sa whatever qui est plus âgée qu'elle, c'est-à-dire ta tante ou quelqu'un que tu regardes comme une tante, il t'attrape comme si tu es un prisonnier et il t'amène chez les tueurs.
et un enfant de 7 ans. Et puis, et puis ce que je voulais ajouter est que, vous savez, à la fin, on a trouvé l'oncle qui devait le tuer. Les miliciens l'avaient tué.
il
Donc,
va, il va partager, il va partager sa situation parce
heureusement,
qu'il
heureusement parce que,
il va arriver
et
là-bas.
puis, pour dire que même les Rwandais, ce qui manque pour les Rwandais, c'est même la gratitude. Parce que le FPR, qui a arrêté les tueries, a arrêté parce que les musiciens étaient en train de se tuer même.
Entre
En
eux.
arrêt- oui, en arrêtant le génocide, ils ont arrêté aussi d'autres théories qui allaient suivre
So
entre
Mr.
les musiciens.
Omisdas, Mr. Omisdas, I think Albert is back. So Albert, before you
Yes,
continue,
I'm back.
let
Sorry,
me
there was someone interrupting the network, but I'm back, I think.
okay, Albert, before you continue, let me translate what Mr. Omisdas said while you were trying to get your network together. So Mr.
Yeah.
Omisdas is saying that so we were trying to think about like what was in your mind, like your own mother holding your hand. One side your mother is holding your hand, the other side your older cousin who's like an aunt is holding your hand, taking you to the killers. And then he's like what shook him is what happened to the person who was supposed to kill you ended up being killed by his one of the militias. And then he says that actually the RPF actually saved the killers because they had gotten into a place where they started killing each other. So when the RPF stopped the genocide, they also stopped those killers to kill each other. So it was
Yeah,
actually they were helping them from killing each other because they had gotten into a place like John said on Monday. They had really become they had lost their mind. They were monsters because how do you even kill your own? Like you are killing the Tutsis, then you're also killing the people that you are killing people with. So it was
yeah,
really
c'est ça la
crazy.
vérité. C'est la
Yeah,
vérité.
exactly is what happened. When they, after killing them, actually they have a plan. After they said, after killing those Tutsis, they said even we are going to check among us ourselves to see if there is someone who have some relatives of the Tutsis, the blood Tutsis, because some of them even you can't imagine my uncle, who was the chief of Interahamwe, his wife was Tutsi.
Oh,
Yes,
I,
Did he
ah,
kill? Did he kill his wife? Did he kill his
yes,
wife?
no, no, but he killed the brother of his wife.
oh, oh,
But
You can't
isn't that
imagine.
to me that logic is crazy, right?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
he he
He
killed the
went to
brother.
he went to kill his wife families. He killed the brother of his wife.
oh,
The uncle, he killed the uncle of his children, and then he killed the cousins. I mean, for me, I mean for us, we were how we call it, niece, something like that, niece.
Yeah, so he
yes,
killed his nieces and nephews
Yes,
on his wife's side of the family. So his in-laws, he
ex-
killed his in-laws.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so you
yeah.
were you had gotten to the part where your mother and your cousin were walking you to the killer, to your uncle to be killed. Then what happened?
Yeah. Actually, my mother took my hand and my cousin, and then it was like 5 p.m., something like that, and then they took me both, and then we went. So in my mind, I guess maybe my mother is going to save me. I say maybe she's going to tell the people, please, at least you kill my all my all my biological children.
brothers.
Yes, you kill them. Please, at least I just want this one only to survive. Like my remembering, like my only my blood left.
So at that point, you still believe that your mother didn't want you dead. You still believe
Exactly.
your mother
Because
was going to
even
plead for
even
mercy.
you cannot believe. I could
No,
not
I
believe.
can't. Even me,
Yes.
I'm telling you, when I was reading your story, I just could not even understand. I couldn't fathom it, because that is why I got to even forgive my family on my mother's side, because I'm like, if Albert was your own mother, for me it was an uncle. It was not a blah. It was not the person who gave birth to me. But
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't understand. There's no way at 7 you could understand that your own mother wants you there. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
yeah, yeah. So in my mind, I was crying, my dear friend. The level of sadness I had in my life, it was the hardest time I have seen in my life. Today I can smile, I can talk about those stories, but at that time I was, the level of sadness, the sorrowful I had in my life, it was the highest level, I think, where the people can be angry, where the human being cannot be resist to survive. Because I said, I remember when the Mauritius killed the Tutsi, they said, the God hate you, the God hate you. They there is a in the Bible, they said, uh, how they call it? They had it was in a I don't remember in the Bible. So they said, the God give you to us to eat you like bread. How it
Oh,
is in yeah.
People
Abisirayeli ahantu bageze bakavuga ngo Imana ngo yaba tugabije nk'imitsima tubarye. It is in each.
Is it like the story of the Israelites in Egypt?
Yes, yes. Bo Imana yatugabije abanzi bacu ngo tubarye nk'imitsima. Do you get me?
So
you
so
know,
they were saying that God has brought our enemies to eat their flesh and drink their blood.
Something like that. Yes. So and then they said God hate Tutsis. They said God, now even if you can't do anything to save you by God. They said God has has disappointed you. You cannot anything to die. I said, my goodness. I said, maybe what they said, it is a true, because I said, if my biological mother, my mother who carried me 9 months, my mother who feed me, my mother who did everything to survive, if she decided to do that, now God hates his Tutsis. So in my mind, I prepare myself to die. I prepare myself. My dear friend said, okay. But the only one shocked me, I said, at least I could be die with the people. At least we don't have any relatives. At least any people who are from others. So only one thing shocked me. I said, I'm going to die with my biological mother. This is the only thing shocked me. I said, why my mother is going to do this? I said, why my cousin is going to do this? But I said, maybe at least my cousin could do that, but my mother could not do that. My dear friend, I did not believe. I cried. I said, my God, I can't do anything. So maybe if it is the choice of God, I'm ready to die. I'm ready to die. So it was the hardest time. It was the hardest time I had. So I cried. So, but I said, if I will die because my mother took me to be died, I said, God, don't forgive my mother. I said that. I said, don't forgive her. Don't forgive my cousin. Don't forgive them because we are innocent. I said that. I remember. So I remember even I I took a look of my mother's face. Yeah. So I, I said maybe even I said it is not my mother because I said my mother, your biological mother, my biological mother could not do that. She couldn't, but she did. So we went there. It was somehow long, my dear friend. I cried. I cried. So we went. Then we reached there. So she asked the people to found my uncle, that one who killed my two young brother, because she told them, bring or I will kill them. She found him. She did not. We did not see him because they were around there. They were drinking the alcohol there in our village. We had the alcohol called kanyanga. It was like a rika, or it made in a banana. Maybe homicidas know that. It is a strong beer.
Is it Urguarwa? Is it
No, no, no,
Urguarwa?
it is not Rukwagwa.
Kanyanga. Ni
Kanyanga, you know
kanyanga.
it. Kanyanga.
Ah, ni kanyanga.
Kanyanga.
Oh,
Kayanga, I don't know what that is. So it's like an
is it,
alcohol, is it stronger than Urguarwa?
very
It-
strong, very
Very
strong.
strong.
Oh wow. Okay.
Cannot go because the kanyanga it comes. It is a chemical they took ruagwa and then uh, they boil ruagwa and then they made it into kanyanga. It is a
Wow.
strong. It is a strong alcohol.
Very strong.
Okay.
Urwagwa is a simple. How you become a European?
No, I've tasted Urguarwa, but I've never heard of that, the one that you're talking about.
Yeah, it is a strong beer. It is a strong, yeah, it is a stronger than Urwagwa. Mm. So he was there uh, after killing Tutsis. You know, they took their property, they took their cows, oh, their things. So they were um, sharing those they took from Tutsis houses, but they did not. Um, they they just wanted to share equal, but my uncle said, "No, I'm the chief. I have to took uh, more than things because I'm a chief. I have to took because I killed many Tutsis. Yeah, I'm the chief. I killed the uh, many Tutsis, so I have to take more than you." So they did not agree with that, and then they fight each other. So they killed themselves.
Oh,
As the homicidas said, so yeah, so they killed themselves, and then is how I survived. So, but
But
at that
wait,
time, I was
when they kill themselves, so what happened? So your mother and your cousin who took you to the killers, they were waiting for him to come and kill you. And at that time, he was into an altercation. He was fighting among his peers because of things that they were trying to share. And then
yeah.
he was killed. Then when he was killed, then they like your did you were you the first one to find out because you told your mother, right, that he was killed?
Yes, yeah, it was me. Actually, when we missed him, so we went to his young brother house. But he was a priest. He did not involved to kill Tutsis. No, he was a priest. Yeah, yeah, he was. I think now he lives in South Africa. I think. Yeah, yeah. I mean his brother. So we went there. We missed him and my mother because did not saw anyone who is able to kill me. She said it's okay. Yeah, I remember she asked the other people were there. I want the the I want the someone who is able to kill my son.
They were all out of work. They were out of service. So she went to look for the person to kill you. And then
Yes,
everybody wasn't available because they were busy fighting each other for 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 possession. So
yes,
they were busy fighting each other for possession. So you had to wait for somebody who's available to kill you.
was very.
C'était ta chance.
You can't imagine at that time, my mother asked people there, so who is willing to kill this guy because I want to finish then myself.
Imagine
And
your
then
mother,
people,
your
you
mother
can't
was
imagine if people said you can't. But I'm telling the truth, all Hutus were not bad. I'm telling you the truth, all Hutus were not bad. Some of them they saw that, oh, they said this is incredible. Now they said, so now we are at the level of the biological mother took his son or her kid to be killed.
looking
It
for
was
an
it
available
was
killer.
crazy.
She's
Yeah,
looking for
yeah.
an
She's
available to
looking
kill my
someone to
son.
kill his. She's looking. She's looking. Uh, someone who could kill her son, her kids.
But what actually amazes me is the fact that she's not. It wasn't your cousin actually looking for somebody to kill you. It was your own mother asking the militias, "Oh, who's available to kill my son?"
Exactly. Who is available? Who is
Oh
ready
mon
to
Dieu.
kill
Oh
him?
mon Dieu. Oh.
Can you imagine
Oh
who
my
is ready? Who is ready to kill my son
Eh
and
because
oui.
he's a Tutsi, me, I'm Hutu?
the one who were available were busy fighting each other for possession. So you now
Yeah.
at at that time, that's when you were like, "Oh my goodness, my mother is looking for an available killer. This is
Yes,
my time to run for my life because my own mother is looking for an available killer to cut me to pieces. So quick. But
exactly.
you did run. You did run. You waited." And then when you found out about the person who was supposed to kill you, who was killed, and you told her, that's when you were like, "Oh my goodness, this is I need to go." So what happened? I want you to share that part. So
Yeah.
what happened?
So actually, the people said, around evening. I told you it was like 4 p.m. So um, it many people, many militias were tired. They wake up in
Oh.
the morning and then they went to do a job. You can't imagine.
Yes.
Some people said, I'm tired. I did a great job. I killed many Tutsis. So I'm
They
tired
need,
now. So
they
please,
needed
it will
the breath.
It was
be.
it was a hard work. They will wake up early for
Yeah,
the
they had the war.
Oh,
They said, yeah, they said, you know, we are very tired. We did hard work, so we have to wait. We have to get a
oh,
reward. We have to go to drink. So we did a great job now. So we are really heroes. That's how they say.
So basically, you were saved because they took you on their time for the clock out. They were clocking out work. They were finishing work.
Yeah,
So your mother couldn't find a killer because they were finishing work and on their way to drink
exactly.
to reward
So
themselves from what they've done in the
so she
morning.
did a mistake. It could be better to her to took me at least in the morning. So she did a she did a wrong.
If she had taken you
Yeah,
in the morning, you'd be dead. It was God
yeah.
who put the time for you to go at around 4 so that you meet them at the time of finishing the work. So yeah, so then those killers told the mother, they're like, you know what, we are
Yeah,
clocked out. We're not gonna
told
kill you.
her it is yeah, it is now about evening, so we are tired. So yeah, we killed many tutsis, so we are now tired. So maybe you can try your best to find the best killer to kill him. So the best killer was my my uncle. Yeah, he called him Mukurarinda. Yeah, the best killer, the chief of militias was Mukurarinda. So, and then, as I told you, the, they were sharing what they got from the Tutsis, the property, land, cows, meat. So, my dear friend, sometimes it makes crazy. Can't you imagine the people took machete and cut the the cows and then cut the people at the same time?
A minute. So they were okay. So even the cows, why can't they just say, okay, there are three cows, we are three. Let me take. We wanna take one. Why do they have to even cut the cows and divide the meat?
Yes,
Like that's.
yes.
I'm sorry.
Crazy thing. I'm telling you, it is a crazy thing. You know, I said why they didn't took like cows to grow them.
That's what I'm also thinking. I'm like, if you are taking the cows, for me, okay, I've never been I've never killed somebody, so I can't really say that if I was a killer because I rebuke that. I would never kill in Jesus' name. But for me, like common sense would say, these are cows, okay? So we have three cows, we are three killers. Take one. I'm taking that cow, and then it will go, and then it will work in my field, right? Why do I have to cut the cow to pieces and divide the cows among? I just don't understand it.
Yeah, they, my dear friend, they were, they were, they were monster, as John said. They were monster. They were not a human being at that time.
You cut human being, then you cut the cows, you cut the chickens, you like they
Yeah,
were cutting everything. Basically, I think they didn't even know the difference between a human being and a cow because they were doing the same thing. The same thing they were doing to humans, they were doing the same to cows.
yeah, yeah. It is.
ariko
Yeah, you know, sometimes people,
Mr.
sometimes the
Omistas,
people.
you wanted to
bien.
say something. Sorry.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Je
Please go
voulais
ahead.
dire quelque chose en kinyarwanda.
nta
Eh,
kibazo. Yeah.
ibyabaye kwa Albert kuri mu mateka ya Albert uzi ko byagiye biba n'ahandi. Ni ukuvuga ngo bageze igihe akavuga ngo nijye utwara ibintu byinshi kuko nishe abatutsi benshi. Nishe abatutsi benshi ubwo abicanyi niko bavugaga. Njyewe wishe abatutsi benshi ndatwara inka nyinshi cyangwa ndatwara ibintu byinshi. None bari batangiye kurwana, ibyo byagiye biba ahantu hatandukanye. Niyo mpamvu nakubwiraga ngo FPR yarabakijije nabo kuko bari batangiye kwicana bapfa ibintu bavuga ngo njye nishe abatutsi benshi, wowe wishe bake, wowe uratwara duke, genda atwara byinshi, batangira kwicana. Ibyo byabaye ahandi henshi rero, niyo mpamvu.
So Mr. is saying that the case of what Mr. Abbott is sharing about the fight that his uncle and the militia actually went through, and saying that, oh, I'm gonna get more of the things because I killed many Tutsis. It was not only happening in Albert's condition, it happened in many other places in Rwanda where people were actually fighting for possession, saying that no, because I killed more Tutsis, I deserve to have more cows, or I deserve to have more possession, or I deserve to have more things because I killed more Tutsis. And they will fight among themselves. So even the RPF, when the RPF came to stop the genocide, they were actually saving them from themselves because they had started even killing each other because of possession and because of cows and houses and lands, because they started even the killers started now killing each other and fighting because of possession. So that's what happened in the case of Albert's uncle, the one who was supposed to kill him, actually started fighting because he's like, I'm the head of the militias, I deserve to have more cows and more possession. And then they got into a fight, and then he was killed. Albert, are you here?
Yes.
Okay, carry on.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that is true what you said. It is actually happened in my to my uncle. Yeah, I know it happened many times in Rwanda. I know sometime because of the, yeah, but me I can say it, uh, it happened because of what they did, because you cannot do a bad thing and then you deserve a good thing. You can't.
But to
Yes.
them,
So
it wasn't a bad thing. To them, it was a reward because to them, killing the Tutsis was a reward. They were doing a good thing. So they deserved
yeah,
to be rewarded.
yeah, yeah. But themselves, they 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 think it is good thing, but it was bad thing, my dear friend. You have to know that. So if you do a bad thing, so the reward must be come in the bad thing. It will not come in the good thing. We have to know that if you help others, you deserve to be helped. If you kill people, yeah, I think you cannot be rewarded because you kill people. You kill innocent people. It does not make a sense. So for them, is they thought it is a good thing they did, but for me it is bad thing. So is that how they started to fight themselves, to kill them each other? Yeah. So may I continue, please?
Yes, continue, continue. I was gonna say yes, continue, continue.
Okay. So, and then my mother found someone uh, who is able to kill me. She did not found anyone. Uh, and then they took me to my good uncle. We spent there. I remember they gave me a cup of tea. Until now, even in my life, I hate a tea. I hate that. I
For
hate
me,
that.
I
So my
cannot
friend,
eat
when I will,
banana because I
so
hate
you
banana.
have to recognize this when I will come in America. Don't give me a tea. But the white
I'm sorry,
tea I can do it. The
I
tea
was
mix.
drinking tea. I was drinking tea a few minutes ago. That's all I drink. So I don't know what I'm gonna give you because you can't drink tea.
Yeah, but at least you can mix coffee and milk. Maybe if you no, but don't give me the
Cappuccino.
black tea. No. Just give me like milk. It's okay. I will do. Maybe if you not give me a tea, it's okay. You can just
It's okay.
me. You
I'll give you
can give
coffee. I'll
me
give you
a beer
coffee.
at least.
I'll give you coffee. I won't give you tea.
Not tea. Yes. So they gave me a small cup of tea. So, but it was very hot. My dear friend, I said maybe. Even I said maybe this guy is not good. So they know I'm going to die. And then they give me a tea. Why they I say this guy they are not I said this guy is not really good. But actually he's that man was good. Yeah, he said maybe at least if you're going to die, I'm not support them. At least let me give him a tea. At least and then they will die. Yeah.
But Albert, so you
Yeah.
are telling me that even after your mother, so after your mother couldn't find the killer because they were done for the day. So she took you to the uncle, and the uncle gave you the tea. He didn't give you food. He just gave you black tea.
Yeah, they gave me a tea. Yeah, but Irene, actually, I did not take, so in my mind, I already prepared my mind to, I said, I'm going to die. So my mind was not there.
But
Do you
but but I get that. But like I'm trying to think now. Like think about it. Even if yes, you tell me that that guy didn't kill because he was a priest. But come on. Like you are 7, okay? You get into his house. He's not feeding you. He's giving you black tea at 7, okay? And he's
Yeah.
that to me doesn't make sense. Even if he didn't kill, why didn't he feed you at least, or hide you, or said, okay, you know what? Like I'm a priest, and I know my brother is going to kill you tomorrow, but I can save you by hiding you. But he was preparing you to die.
Yeah, actually, uh, I remember even my mother. I mean that guy. He called the Segatare. He asked my mother, "Why are you bring this guy here?" She said, "I bring him to be killed. I bring him to Mukurarinda to be killed." Is that how my mother replied him? So even he was surprised. He said he said maybe it is my life. I saw this thing.
But okay, so Albert,
And then you
let
can
me.
that's why maybe that's why maybe they did not give me a food. They say maybe it's going to die soon, so there is no reason why
But this
to
guy
give
was
him
a
food. But
priest.
I'm not
For
sure.
me,
I don't know.
I'm trying to say this. Like, okay, so he asked your mother, why are you bringing him here? The mother is like, I want him to die, okay? But he was a priest, okay? He was a priest. So, Mr. Omisdas, can you just explain? Because you were almost you were going to be a priest too. For me, I don't understand how you see a child who is brought by his own mother to be killed, and then you listen to the mother saying, yeah, I brought him to be killed, and then you don't even, I'm not saying I'm not trying to make him guilty or whatever, but he is guilty in some way, even though he didn't kill Albert. But he literally, he enabled this woman to bring the child to him and keep him to be ready for tomorrow because they were going to kill Albert. So basically, they're like, okay, come and stay with this priest. We will come back and get you tomorrow and finish with you. But this priest could have hidden him because there are so many Hutus that hid people. There are so many Hutus that protected Tutsis. Okay, but this
Yeah.
guy gave him black tea and then prepared him to die.
C'est ça qui est incompréhensible. La fois passée, je vous ai parlé d'un prêtre que je croisais à Rome, bien habillé, avec des afite n'umusaraba n'iki none waje kumbwira ko ari we wasenye kiliziya akayishyira ku bakirisitu be. Donc, je ne sais pas comment dire. Mais c'est ça, le génocide est incompréhensible. Et toutes les catégories des gens ont participé. Les prêtres, les pasteurs, les docteurs, tout ont participé. C'est ça, je ne peux pas comprendre. Tout, les sœurs, les mamans, ils ont participé au génocide. Mais pourquoi? Moi, je ne comprends pas. Je ne peux pas répondre à cette
So
question.
I am asking Miss Das. I'm like, because Miss Das was on his way to become a Catholic priest. He had just finished his studies and he was about to be a Catholic priest. So I'm asking, how does he understand that this man, this priest, this woman takes the child to the priest and say, I brought this child here because I want him to be killed. And the priest doesn't even have a compassion to the child to hide the child, because there are some Hutus that hid the children. The Tutsi family. There are so many Hutu families that hid Tutsis. Okay, not every Hutu committed the genocide. Absolutely not. Not every Hutu. They are good Hutus that did the
Yeah.
good thing, that like human thing. But this priest gave Albert black tea, preparing him to die. So I'm asking Omis das, how does it, like, does it make sense? And Omis das is saying because he was in Rome. So when he was in Rome, there was this priest called Athanas who came to Rome, and he was this priest who was wearing a big cross, who looked like he was a saint. But it was later found out that this priest actually took a bulldozer and destroyed his church. The church was filled with Tutsis that had run to the church to hide, and he killed them himself. He didn't call the militia. He did it himself. So Mr. Olmistas is saying the genocide is very hard to understand it, because the priest did it, the nun, the pastors, everybody, every I won't say everybody did it, but every category of people, even the people you couldn't think could kill like a bird. Because for me, in my head, I'm like, I can't understand how a Catholic priest,
Même les médecins, même les médecins, même les médecins
doctors,
ont
even
participé.
the doctors,
Yeah.
everybody,
Donc, c'est
not
incompréhensible.
everybody, but every kind of titles did it. So Albert, so right there, you are with that priest, okay? You are telling me that he was nice. Me, I don't consider him as nice. That is not nice. I'm sorry, but this guy, he may not have had a machete to kill you, but he was a complice. He was he literally he prepared you to be killed, even though he didn't kill you. He prepared you to be killed. So okay, so you are with him, preparing yourself for the following day to be killed. Then what happened?
Yeah, actually, the reason why I said maybe at least he's good. At least he showed me at least the mercy. Instead of my mother who could do that, at least he said maybe you can, at least before you die, at least you can get something to drink. Do,
He was
do you
your
get
last.
me?
He was
At
your
that
last hope of
moment,
peace.
I did not see anyone who were able at least to say you are innocent. Because I saw many people there, even my mother.
Oh,
Yeah,
ça,
yeah,
ça,
they said you are
ça
you
va être dur.
you are you are snakes. You have to die. All the people around there, they said the Tutsis are bad. At least, at least someone who said maybe if you're going to die, at least you are innocent.
Yaguha n'ibyo kurya se ugapfa wijuse n'iyo.
That's what
At least,
that's what Omestas is saying. But why didn't he at least give you of the like before on like alive? Why just T? For me, yes. I mean, as a child, of course, he was the only one to you who was like, okay, you are going to die, though you are innocent, you are going to die. Let me just give you tea. But for me, I'm like, tea is not really like, why not food? Because you were in his house.
agapfa
Exactly. At least you die, at least with a stomach full.
Hapanahazi.
Anyway, no, for me, I mean,
You know,
this guy is also
let
is
me
not
jump a
really.
little bit. You know what my father did? After getting him, he went at some bar. Then they said, please, I know you are going to kill me. At least you are my friend. So let us sharing some beer after, and then you kill me. You know, they just corrected them. They seated together, and then they say, okay, let us, we are friends. We are brothers. You are more. Uh, so I did not do anything bad for you. So it's okay. Let us share something to drink. And then they shared the banana beer, and then after they kill him, they kill my father. Yeah. So
I don't know if people understood it. I'll need to repeat it because this is deep.
yes, you can explain it.
Albert's father asked the killers who came to kill him. They said, I know you're about to kill me, but before you kill me, we are friends. Let's just sit down and drink together before you kill me. And they sat together and drank together and then cut him afterwards. My God. Anyway, yeah.
but
Carry on.
uh,
Carry on.
but is it like your father?
That's exactly like my father.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
let me write.
It's not even like it is exactly because my father, they came to kill us. They came to kill my dad and me. Okay, I was hidden. They came to kill my dad. Okay, they found my dad, and my dad asked him, "Who sent you?" And then he asked the answer, Theophile sent us. And then he's like, oh, Theophile is my friend. Let me write him a letter. He sat down and wrote the letter to that person who still has the letter, by the way. Wrote the letter. They took the letter to the friend. The friend took time to read the letter. Then he sent back the same three people that came. Say, go and finish it. Then they came. Can you imagine? Anyway, Albert, carry on.
Yeah, thank you. So actually, they gave me a black tea. So, but it was not time to drink a tea or whatever because I was thinking how I'm going to die. So I was thinking my mother took me to be killed. So I said, there is no way to escape. I said, okay, let me just die. So, and then very soon I heard the noise of people. They just shouting out, oh, the just noise of people. So I said maybe they are coming to took me to be killed because when they saw the Tutsis, they just shoot it out. They say we get enemy. Let me come together to join it to eliminate the enemies like that. So I said maybe they coming to take me to be killed. So I said maybe I saw no one having a mask for me. I said, okay, let me try to run out. I ran out at the back of a house. I continue, and then I found there the Mukurari in the dead bodies, my uncle's bodies. So when I just arrived there, I said, because I saw some people, they were there. and then I saw too much blood. I say maybe it is something bad happened. So, and then I became someone now to realize what is going on. But at before, I was just my mind where goes far. And then I said, okay, I just realized the event. I saw Mukurarinda, I saw other people, so they will fight themselves because of the reason uh, I I told you before. So now I said maybe I'm going to survive. That one who wanted to kill me is already died. I said that is really maybe I'm lucky. I said maybe I will not die. I'm going to die today. Maybe I will die tomorrow. I said it is better to run and to go. And then I decided I could not go back to my grandmother of my mother house. I said maybe I shall go other places just to live alone. So, but so in my mind, I said okay, but it was even you know mother of someone is a very important thing. I said maybe even I said if even if my mother took me to be killed, she's still my mother. Yes, is how in my mind I guess. So she's still my mother. But I said it was like a miracle. And then I went back to bring my mother to show her that one who wanted to kill me is already died. So it was like a sign to show her maybe I will survive. And then I went back to bring her and my cousin. I told them, Mukura Linda is died. Wait, and they did not believe that. And then I took her hands from that place to uh, to the Mukurari, the dead bodies.
I'm sorry, wait a
You
minute.
see?
Before you
And
continue,
then she cried.
I want to emphasize on something. Before it was your mother and your cousin that were holding your hand to take you to the killers, okay, the day before.
Mm,
Then the following
mm,
day, you went back to them, okay, to your mother and your cousin, the people that were taking you to be killed. You went back to tell them that the person who was supposed to kill you is dead, and they refused to believe. Then you were holding their hands. Now it was you holding their hands to take them to the place where your uncle's body was laid, so that they could see it and believe it. You see the change.
yes,
The
yes.
day before it was them holding you to take you to the killers. The following day
Yeah,
it's now you holding their hands and taking them to show them that the person who was supposed to kill you is dead.
yeah, yeah. That is it. There you go. That is it. That is true. So it's something came in my mind. I did not plan it. At one moment, very soon, you can, yeah. So you can maybe sometime I to to realize and to link those things. It is it is hard for me.
So Albert, we've been talking for a long time. I want us to jump the topic, and then I want us to go to the place of, okay, now you went to show them and they were so mad. They were mourning your uncle. They were now mourning the fact that you survived. They were mourning the fact that your uncle was killed, not cut to pieces, but he was there was an how do you call it, lance is like what, a javelot, is it a javelot?
Javelo, Javelo, yes,
Yeah, it
oui,
was like
Javelo.
a javelot, that he was killed by a javelot, but he was not killed by a machete. So then they they,
No,
they started mourning him and not mourning the fact that he was a killer and whatever. So then that's when you ran away. Then when the
yeah.
genocide ceased, Then everybody went back to their homes. You had to go back and live with your mother.
Yes.
I want you to talk to us a bit about like the 7 years of you living with your mother and not talking to each other. Like how was the dynamic? Now the genocide is over, but
Yeah.
you are living with her and you are living around your cousins, your the people that committed the genocide. What was the how was the dynamic there?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I cannot go into the details what happened to one by one during the genocide. So, but after, so I went to hide some places in a bush, in a forest, right there until the RPF liberated the country. So after that, my mother uh, went to small center, and then she found a house. She lived there because I did not have any place to go, anyone to take care of me. But at least I said maybe it would be better to go to be with my mom. So we spent there. I spent about 1 year, I think. But when I was there, sometime I look at her, I said, maybe this is not my mother. You see how in my mind, I said, maybe this is not my mother. Maybe, and I say, maybe I could be born to another mother. I said, maybe my father brought me to that house. Maybe it's not my mother because how my mother could do that. So, but I was a kid. Yes, but I was kid, but I always remind what my mother did. Yeah, so but I did it. I went there to live with her because I did not have any place to go.
Oh, okay. So
This
then
is
you
how
lived
I
with
lived with him
her.
the same way.
You lived with her from 1994 to 2000 when she was taken to prison, and then she was
Not
in prison.
it went in prison in 1997
Oh, okay. So you were with her for
after 2 years after genocide against Tutsi.
okay. So she went to prison in
Yes.
1997. So oh, so
Yes.
you basically you lived with her for like 3 years, like me.
Yeah, about
I also lived with
yeah, about
I also
3 years,
lived
I
with
think. Maybe about 3 years. Yes, yes, you are right.
I lived with one of the people that killed my dad for 3 years with Atanas with
Yeah,
from
Oh là là.
January 1995 to end of 1997.
yeah, yes.
Mm.
So I lived with him almost 2 years and a half or something, or 3 years. So and then after that, she arrested.
Then but after that when she was arrested, did you how did you get because you used to go and visit her in prison, okay? And like how did you
Yes.
get to go through from a place of like she wanted me dead. She literally took me to the killers looking for somebody to kill me, and then the person who was supposed to kill me died. Then how did you get to forgive her? Like how?
Yeah, actually, after getting arrested, so my the side of my father's family, some of them they survived, some of them they did not died. So I went at the family of my father. Someone decided to yeah, to take care of me, but it was not wrong. But at least, yeah, he did it. Uh, and then it is the relationship I had. I mean, the blood. Let me say it is the sign of blood. It is always there. This is very important thing. Even your mother can do incredible thing for you, or your father or your relative, but the blood relation is still there. So when I was there, I was now growing up. I said, I don't have any relatives, no, or blood brothers. I'm with the father's family, but I will always took back to my background. So I say maybe my mother even is in a prison. So I was, and I remember I was in a senior two. So I decided myself to go to visit her in a prison. So I took money. I I brought something. I remember I go. Uh, I brought sugar. I brought some soaps, and then I took my bag, and then I went to visit her in a prison in Ruamagana. It is now in Ruamagana prison. Yeah, before it was Nsinda prison. I think your message does know that place. Yeah. So I just want to say maybe even if all my brothers, my family died, at least I have only one. I have mother, is she's still alive. She's she's in a prison, but I really missed her. Yeah, she did a wrong for me, but me, I was innocent. I did not do anything bad for her. That's why I said maybe even I miss my family. I miss my at least someone who can make me happy. Yeah, I think you get me. So that's why I decided it's
I do.
okay. I wanted to see.
Mm.
Yeah, I wanted to see her because it was even if I was to someone who tried to help me, but it was difficult to see them. Some people who are not my blood relatives. It is very hard, my dear friend. Yeah.
I understand.
But
Believe me,
even at
and
that moment, they did not even treat it well. I was anger. No one did not take care of me. Yeah, my dear friend, it was the hardest time. It was hardest time. I'm telling the truth. It was the hardest time. Yeah, yeah. So
so
I
so
decided to go to
so
visit her.
so how long? So she stayed in prison from 1997. So she was in prison for 9 years, right?
Yes, 9 years.
So she came out in 2000 and what? And six.
2003. Yeah.
Okay,
Not
Six-
2003.
2003.
Yes.
Okay, my math is bad.
It,
Okay, 1997 to 2000 is 3 years. Then 2003 is
Six.
it
that
is
six
about
years. So
6 years.
2000, isn't it? Okay, so it was about 6 years.
Mm.
Okay, so then after she came out in 2003,
Yeah,
she
but before we go there, I actually I did not finish where I was. Please allow me
yes,
to just talk a
yes, no,
little
no,
bit
no
about.
problem.
Yeah. So I went there, my dear friend, because they just if uh so they just visit the custody only 2 days, 2 days in a week.
Okay,
Yes, 2 days in a week. So I went. It was in Friday. I went there. That I decided myself, it's okay. I want to go to see my mommy because it has been a long time. Yeah, I was really missing her, and then I decided it's okay. Let me go to visit her. I just wanted to show her at least to make me happy, but it was it made me very sad. I saw her, so it was. And then I went there just to write a paper. I wanted to see my mother name and whatever. I fulfill the document, and then I present what I brought her. So I put there. Then I wait. Yeah, I waited uh, 20 minutes, and then she came. She did not recognize me because I was growing up. Uh, I was growing up. I was uh, be, became so fat, something like that. And it is me. I represent her. I just called her. Yeah, just I hug her. So yeah, she was, yeah, she was very happy. She said, "You become so fat. You become so." And then I said, yeah, it was very difficult. Yeah. But I cried. I said, "Did you remember me? Did you recognize me?" Yeah, yeah. She said, "Yeah, it has been long." And then I said, "Yeah, it is sometime happening, but it's okay." So, but we did not take along because it was not allowed uh, to take too much. And then I said, "Okay, bye, mommy." And then I went back. Yeah, but I was very, yeah, it was very hard. But I tried to, but I said, "Yeah, but it's okay." I said, "It is a life. I have to, yeah, yeah, it is a life."
So after that, yes, so you started going, to see her because you miss her. I mean, I understand it fully. Like I get it. I do because even like I mean, it wasn't my mom, but for me, Atanas was a father figure. Like he was the only male adult out of 14
Yeah.
people in the house when after the genocide. So I used to look up to him as like a father figure. So when I found out that when he left, because he left to go to South Africa, and he told us like the day before he was leaving that he was going. So I felt like I was losing a father. Then when even after I found out that he was one of the people that killed my dad, I still didn't get it. I still didn't get it. I still didn't like as a child, like you still have like this holding on. But he wasn't my father, he wasn't my even my direct uncle. Now I understand how for you it, like like you miss your mom even though she tried so many times to kill you and she to have somebody kill you, not to kill you herself but to have somebody kill you. um it was hard to get it and grasp it. So after, so we're gonna go forward because it's almost 3 hours. Interview, it's the longest interview ever. So we're going to fight. So you visit her, then she finished her sentence and she leaves the prison, and she moves in with you. So how was the time like her moment with you before she passed away? Like how was did she get to understand her fault and ask you for forgiveness, or did you guys talk about what happened in the genocide, or was it like something that was taboo? Albert,
Abby.
Albert.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my question is, when after she went out of the of prison, she moved in with you and you live together. So did she get a chance to acknowledge what she did, that what she did was wrong? Did you guys get to talk about like the people that died? Did you have like the remembrance crew who cut together? Like how was the dynamic before she passed away?
Yeah, actually, uh, to lose the family, and uh, I can let me say this, in our culture, in our Rwandan culture, the parent to ask forgiveness, the children, my dear friend, it is very difficult for me to know that it is father is someone who is let's say I don't know how can I say, but the old people to ask forgiveness to young people or to children is not is not easy for them. So my mother did not ask me forgiveness. Yeah. So after getting out, after releasing in a prison, so we did not collaborate together because I was in a high school. I was in a senior four, I remember. So I just went to visit her only like 2 times. So she was not able to even to express herself. So she was very traumatized. So that's why you can't see someone who is not in a good mood and then ask he or her uh, the story about what I remember when I visited her. We just I try to ask her how she feel, how she is, but we did not take time to just to make a debate what happened. So even I remember she was not able even uh, to talk because she was ill, she was sick, so she was not really in a good mood. Yeah, so she did not ask me forgiveness anymore. But me, as I said, as I wrote in my book, I already forgive. I forgive her for what she did. Whatever she did, I forgive her. Yeah, because it is. Yeah, it was my. Yeah, it was my task. Let me say like that. Even others, even my cousins, I already forgive them just to make me happy, even to make them free.
But did they, even your cousin, so none of your cousin, nobody has ever come to you and said, like, we acknowledge what we've done and we ask for forgiveness? No one.
No one.
Wow.
Yeah, no one.
Wow.
But to
Mr.
me,
Omi,
I did, always let me say this thing because it is very important. Yeah. The strong people forgive, but the weak people cannot forgive. If you are strong people, just forgive for others. Yeah, because no one
even when they
innocent
don't
here.
ask, even when they don't acknowledge they did. Actually, you're right, because forgiveness is a choice. Forgiveness is a, that's why that's why I feel like when I was reading your book, I won't lie to you, like your book really helped me to forgive my father, because the way you wrote it, especially around the end of it, like you showed that, like, there was no other way for you to be able to be a better person without forgiveness, because you, like, you were surrounded by killers, like, your family on your mother's side had were involved in the killing. So it was, for you to be able to grow up and be a better person, you had to forgive. And forgiveness is not even for the person who hurt you or for the perpetrator. Forgiveness is for your own sanity. Forgiveness is
Yeah.
not for some, because the person who hurt you might have even moved on with their life, and then you are stuck because you are stuck in the memory. So when I was reading your book, in which I encourage any French person to read it, and for the English speakers, wait, because it will surely be translated and be released, because it's important. It's not just for genocide survivors. For me, your book is a book that talk about the power of love and the power of forgiveness. Because even as a young child, one of the reason why I believe God kept you. I'm not saying that the other people, the other kids that died deserve to die, but I think one of the reason, because even in the fact that you had witnessed your siblings being killed, you had witnessed your own mother like asking and looking for a killer to kill you still had that drawn to go back to her and tell her, Mom, your brother is dead. And come and bring her to see that. Like for me, it's something that when I was reading it, I was amazed by that courage. Like the fact that even with everything that she did to you, that she did to your brother, she did to like everybody, like you still saw her as somebody who would not, even when you knew that she would hurt you still gave her that honor. You still honored your mother to the end. And that's what I feel like, God will bless you because you honored your mother until the end. You've never dishonored her. You've never, like, even in your writing, like there is no part of it that shows her as a monster. It shows her as like, she did it, but you never like consider her as a monster. So for me, your book is really like, it shows the power of love, the power of forgiveness, and the power of rising above. Like you were mentioning about the fact that even the cousin who was holding you to take you to the killers now is the one taking care of of your own land. Like you gave him your land for him to cultivate and feed his children. Like that's the kind of forgiveness that to me is, it deserve really. And I know God will reward you for that, because it deserves to be taught, because there's so many people that don't even forgive for so many little things. But your mother took away 10 people. You were a family of 11, actually 9, because she didn't take her life. So you were 11, and then 9 were gone
Yeah, yeah,
because
sure.
of
You,
her.
you, you yeah, Irene, actually, we can change past. We have to know this. We can't change our past. So if I can do it, uh, why not? Maybe I could change my mother, but I can't. Even I could change my father. So to change our past is impossible, but to change our future is
It's
possible.
possible.
Yes. So me, it is the story, because I did in my life, in my choice. If I have choice, I could not choose to 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 have like the father and my mother like that, to born entire that family. It is not my choice, but the story happened. So I can even clean even small part about my life. What happened? I can't. But my future, it is possible. Maybe I can change how I could behave, but my future, but my past, I can't. So let us take our past like that. So to be a lesson where we could behave for tomorrow, where we can do
That's
for
that's so
tomorrow.
that's so powerful. That is so powerful. That is a powerful. Mr.
Yes.
Omistas,
Yeah.
what is your parting word
Yeah.
about this? Because this is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
best.
So before you have, when I was in high school, so in my life, when I took a time to think myself, I said, why am I alive? So it could be better to die. Even in my book, I wrote it. I said many times I took a decision, bad decision. You see, I said maybe there is no reason of living. So sometimes I said, so maybe it is better to die than to be alive. Sometime. So in my book, I did it. It is true. I tried to 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 kill myself. I tried many times, but and then I decided, no, this is not a good decision. This is a cowardly decision. And then I said, it's okay. Let me continue my life. Let me continue to study. I'm representing my life. I am representing my family. You see? So
My God.
sometime I said, let me go to kill myself. Maybe the all think I have in my mind it will be over, it will be ended after that. But I said no, this is not a good choice.
Yeah.
So yes, I said maybe I can help others at least to understand what is life. So that is why I said, so my past, it is already there. So let me build my life to the future, not to my past. Can you imagine who sold all the things? Albert who uh, took his mother to be kid, and now I'm a good man. I can love. Even I help other people. I'm
Yeah.
telling the truth. I'm not bad. This is I like people. I like to share with the people what I have. Is how I live.
Yeah.
So yes, so it is
Wow.
yeah,
Thank you
it's
so
a
much,
good thing.
Albert. Like your story is, like I said, it helped me to forgive. It helped me to heal some wounds because we do have a similarity, like background. Your father was Tutsi, my father was Tutsi. Your mother was Hutu, my mother was Hutu, and like it's very uh it's very challenging when you have, like, you have to rise, you have to own first your past, because you cannot move forward without acknowledging your past. And that's the reason
Yeah,
why you have to write, you have to talk about it. This is why we have this platform, to share the lessons that we gain from our past, so that we don't repeat the history, we don't repeat the genocide. Because denial, they say that denial stage is the final stage of the genocide. So we don't want the genocide to repeat itself. So we have to really make sure that we talk about what happened to us, bring awareness to the world, so that it doesn't repeat itself, so that we don't build this ideology of denying, or this ideology of trying to hide it. No. So, Mr. or
yeah.
Mrs., can you give us your parting shot before we conclude this conversation?
Oui. D'abord, je vous remercie. Je remercie Albert et Aline parce que vous donnez vraiment une contribution fondamentale pour la reconstruction de notre pays, mais pour la paix dans le monde. Parce qu'il y a un écrivain, il s'appelle Dante Alighieri, c'est lui qui a écrit un livre Divine Comédie, Divine Comedy. Il dit que pour sortir de la misère, hein, il faut être très courageux de voir les conséquences du mal. Hein. Parce que souvent, hein, on évite de regarder les conséquences du mal. Hein. On évite ça. Hein. On évite ça, on évite de regarder les conséquences. Mais on doit être courageux pour aller voir les conséquences du mal, pour pouvoir aller en avant. Parce que si on évite de voir les conséquences du génocide et le génocide même, ce qui s'est passé pendant le génocide, on va rester dedans. On ne va pas sortir et aller en avant. Alors, votre contribution, vraiment, c'est très important. Je lis votre livre, Aline. Vous avez été courageuse pour dire, parler de votre histoire et montrer les conséquences du mal. Albert aussi, voilà, il parle de sa maman, de sa propre maman, mais il a été courageux, assez courageux, pour nous montrer les conséquences du mal en fait de les éviter. Alors, je vous remercie beaucoup.
So Mr. said that first of all he wants to thank Mr. Abe for his courage and his contribution, and also myself for sharing our story and contributing into bringing an awareness of what truly happened, and so that we don't fall into the same consequences or similar consequences like what had happened to us in the past. So he was mentioning an author of a book, and he said that that person was saying that for us to stop the consequences, the previous consequences of the past, we have to not deny the past but embrace the past, talk about the past so that we can take lessons and learn from our past so that we can build a better future. And it's important to not hide the past. It's important to talk about the past. It's important to speak about what happened. Take time, like we just took time today to talk about what happened in Albert's life, to talk about the thing that he witnessed, the pain that he witnessed. We didn't do that to magnify the past, but we talk about it so that we can take lessons of what happened, and not so that the world, it's not even for Rwandan alone, for anybody, because you don't have to go through the genocide to have experienced pain. Anybody in this world, whether you live in America, in China, in Asia, in Africa, you've gone through a kind of pain. It might not be a similar pain like Albert or like myself or like or Miss Das, but you definitely have encountered pain. And the most important, the best way for you to go forward is first of all to acknowledge that it happened to you, to acknowledge that it happened, and to embrace it and own it and own the fact that yes, it happened to you. If you were sexually abused, yes, you were sexually abused. If you lost your parents, your family, yes. If your mother tried to kill you, yes. If whatever it happened, or if you went into a divorce, yes. If you were rejected, yes. You have to acknowledge it first. Acknowledge it, right on what happened to you, and then from then you heal from it, because once you acknowledge that it happened to you, then you give yourself, and you also give a window to God, a door for God to come in your life and heal you, because you cannot, like Albert said, he wanted to kill himself. I also went through that. I went through multiple suicide attempts, because you get to a place where you're like, you know what, I don't really deserve to be alive. Like, for me, I didn't have my dad here, I didn't have my mother, I didn't have my grandmother. All the people that I really trusted were dead. So I'm like, what's the point of living? There's no point for me to live. So you get to that place, but how do you come out of it? It's by embracing it, embracing your pain, embracing your hurt, and also allowing yourself to be healed by God. Like I would say, God is the center. Like you cannot heal without God. You can't. You can. There is no genocide survivor who did not have a common denominator with God, because only God can save us. We didn't survive because we were the best at running or the best at doing. It's the grace of God. So God is the only way who can heal you. And even if you're going through pain, whatever kind of pain it is, the rejection and forgiveness, bitterness, the only answer that I can give you is God. God can help you forgive. The same God who helped Albert forgive his mother is the same God who can help you forgive your own. Forgive the people that hurt you so that you can really experience true freedom. Because the only way you can experience freedom is by forgiving. You cannot be in bitterness and experience freedom. No, it's not possible. So thank you guys for coming. Monsieur Albert, do you have any parting, any conclusion, anything to share before we conclude? Wait, before we go.
Oh yes, actually, as I said, we can we cannot change our past, but we can change our future. So uh, actually, we really need each other to make the better world. So we need each other, not only black, white, or whatever. We need each other. Yeah, and the bright future future is in our hand. We have to know this. And then the forgiveness, first of all, forgiveness help you to heal. Forgiveness help Albert to heal. This is the kind of healing. If you forgive, automatically you get a heal. Yeah, I know it is very difficult. It is hard, but it is kind of medication. It is a kind of healing. We have uh, we have to be attention about forgiveness. It is a kind of healing. And my last one is to don't hate your enemy. Just always, if you meet your enemy, smile. Show him you are, show him or her. Just you don't have any problem about him or her. Yeah, this is the revenge.
On mute. I'm sorry. Well, I think he said it all. He said it all better. Like forgiveness is important. Forgive your enemy. Forgive the people that hurts you. Now, next week is going to be an amazing week, and Albert, if you have time, you can even join us for the stream. I would love to have your inputs when we interview the repentant genocide killer on Thursday. So if you are available, please join us so we can listen to him and ask him questions. Because for me, I don't know about you, Albert, but when I grew, because I was surrounded by. I was raised by I spent 22 years of my life with my family on my mother's side, so I was surrounded. I won't say that they were killers, but they had friends that were involved in the genocide, and there were also that were deniers. So I lived with people that denied the genocide, that were talking about Inambara. Inambara is a war. They were talking about a
Yeah,
war because they wanted to mention that it was a war. It was not a genocide. And I
yeah,
always pray to God and I say, God, please give me a chance one day to write a book, to go back to Rwanda, find genocide survivors who can share with me their pain, and also give me the opportunity to find a killer, a genocide killer who can tell me what happened, what they did, who can be honest enough and true enough to share me their pain. And I did that. I think I did that prayer. I think I was what, 9, because my grandmother was still alive. I was 9 or 10. That was my prayer. I prayed that prayer. I said, God, and I even told my grandmother, I said, don't worry. I promise you, when I grow up, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to go to Rwanda and I'm going to look for genocide survivor, because my grandmother actually was also a genocide survivor, and she wanted to go back to Rwanda. She wanted to go back to Rwanda in 1998. Actually, she was planning on going back to Rwanda. It didn't happen because she passed away in 1999, October 27, 1999. So when I made her the promise, I kept it in my heart. That is why I keep on telling people, this is not political. This is not for those who think that, oh, Aline is brainwashed. Oh, Aline is brainwashed. That's why she's doing. This is not political. I've been praying for this to happen since I was 8 or 9. So this is personal. This is a personal promise I made to my grandmother, that I'm going to find genocide survivors and ask them to share their story. And God blessed me. I went to school, I studied, I'm successful. I wrote the book that I wanted to do. I started a foundation, and now it's my time to do what I promised my grandmother at 9. That is what I'm doing. This is a personal purpose. This is my purpose. My purpose is to shine the light, because I've lived for 22 years with deniers. For 22 years, I was not allowed to remember my father. I want to mention that because I want people to understand it. For 22 years, none of my uncles or aunties have ever remembered my father. Let's be honest here. My father was a taboo. Kurawiti Jean Baptiste was not a name that was mentioned in my family. So you can understand how angry and mad it can make you feel. I started remembering my father in 2011. Actually, the first Kwibuka that I remembered my father was in 2012 in South Africa. So you can understand how painful it is. So whoever wants to think that this is Kagame, whatever President Kagame is brainwashing. No, 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 no. This is not political. Please. This is personal. I started remembering my father in 2012. So you can imagine how painful it is. So I made a promise to myself and to my grandmother that I'm going to work hard. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to go to Rwanda and find genocide survivors and question them and ask them to share their story. I was a child when I had that promise. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I wrote the book. My book is well sold, translated in 17 languages. I started the foundation. And now I made a decision. I am going to find genocide survivors who are living in Rwanda, not people that are outside of Rwanda, because the deniers, most of the deniers are outside of Rwanda. No. I want genocide survivors who still live next to the killers. Genocide survivors who forgave, like Albert, who learned to forgive to the point of giving their possession to the people that wanted them to die. That's my promise. But I also ask God, I say, God, in the same way that you will give me the chance to interrogate the genocide survivor, please, I pray that you give me the opportunity to go and question the genocide killer. I started by Theophile. Theophile is the one who ordered my father's death. Theophile is the one who was my father's friend. Theophile is the one who is in prison in Butare. I went to prison. I have pictures. If you want, I can show you the pictures. I went to prison to see this man. Because I was like, I can't start interrogating people outside. Let me start with directly people that affected my life. This man wanted me dead because he sent his brothers to kill me and my dad, but they didn't find me because I was hidden. So this, for me, it's not something that I'm doing for political reason. And I beg, because I keep on receiving messages. You need to stop. Oh, you can continue. I will never answer you because I don't have the time to answer you. And my goal is to pray for you, for whoever is sending me messages and insulting me and calling me all kind of things. I'm praying for you that you would find the light, because I'm not doing this to I will not stop talking. I am going to keep on bringing people. I have over 10 repentant genocide killers that are willing to share their stories. I will bring them on this platform. They are going to share their stories. You are going to hear it whether you like it or not. Because I made a promise to my grandmother. I made a promise to God that I'm going to shine the light. So whatever you want, however you wish, you can insult me, you can treat me of all kinds of things. It doesn't move me. Because let me tell you this, I've lived with some of you for 22 years and I didn't die. It's not today that God will allow you to kill me. If you didn't kill me in the genocide, if you didn't kill me when I was living with you, it is not now that I'm hidden in the secret place of the Most High God that you'll kill me. So next Thursday, I am going to have the honor to interview a repentant genocide killer who is going to share his story. And I do have many who are willing to share of all places. Because let me tell you this, my greatest weapon is not a machete. My greatest weapon is not a knife. My greatest weapon is not a gun. My greatest weapon is the truth. And I'm going to carry that truth until the day I transition to heaven. You can't kill me. You can't, and you will not. And I'm telling you, you can insult me. You can DM me and call me all kinds of things. Let me tell you this, at the age of 5, I was called Inyenzi already. I was already called the cockroach at the age of 5. So there's no insult that you can do to me that can move me. But all I want to tell you, we will be back. On Monday, we will have very, very, very painful testimonies of genocide survivors, women who were raped by many men, and also children that were born from rape. testimonies of that. And then on Thursday, we will have the honor to hear a testimony from a repentant genocide killer. So I invite you to come, and I invite you to invite others, because our goal is not to shame people. Our goal is to show that there is power in unity. And our goal is also to show the truth about the Rwandan history. Because many of you have chosen a narrative of the Rwandan history that is really not true. And also, I'm going on this same platform. I am going to interview some people that were in Hotel Rwanda, the true Hotel Rwanda, not the movie, the true Hotel Rwanda. And they are going to share how they survived, so that you understand that the person that you call your hero wasn't truly a hero to the people that survived in that hotel. So, having said that, I invite you to join. I invite you to come. Like, I'm not gonna stop. We have countless of testimonies, like Mr. or Mrs. can testify that there are so many stories that we are gonna have. So we will see you on Monday and Thursday. Please make sure you are here. We thank you for being here. And that's the conclusion of today. Oh, sorry, my internet went off. Have an amazing weekend, and God bless you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.